Should make a bit of a bounce back here, moving into this game number one of our final best of three of the year in the regular season. BNK Furex versus Nongshim, Poppy and the Vi both taken away already as we jump into Champion Select.
Pantheon gone. Still leaving that Cassiopeia and Orianna up. That's kind of been a little... The way that this has been played in more modern times is you save those for last. And if you are the team that has the last ban, you're the one who has to make the choice. If they ban one, will you match it? Or is it going to be just a trade and leaving both up, which has been a little bit more common recently, but we have sometimes seen Orianna left, but Cassio banned. Cassio is winning the matchup right now in the lane, something that we just witnessed earlier with Faker playing the Orianna, something Cajal went on a tirade about on the stream earlier.
Yeah.
As the Orianna will be banned, and not the Cassio, interestingly. So looking for that first pick Cassio, forcing now Nongshim Red Force to likely ban it as well.
And this is the beautiful thing, and I'm really glad that you brought up the Cajal tirade, because I think it's somewhat warranted. Recency bias is a huge thing, and we all fall for the trap, as the Rise will be the first pick here for BNK Furex.
Without a Pantheon, though. So just a Rise in isolation. We'll see what the response is going to be. Yeah, that's the other thing that's up. It's a lot of strong picks you can go with. I mean, Nocturne Aurora is a really strong one. We don't see that too often these days anymore. Well, mostly because the Nocturne is basically permanently banned here in the LCK. They're going to go for the Ezreal lane on the bottom side instead. Bard is also available. So do they want to go for the Karma, or do they want to try to play Ezreal Bard?
They have to pick Nocturne, right? Isn't that... I thought it's illegal to not.
Well, then you're going to give up that strong support.
I mean, but they're not going to pick Bard and Karma, are they?
No.
So I guess
that'd
it's
be funny,
probably going to be okay. It would be very funny.
Scout mid-Karma.
Yeah. We must deny it, as it's a Lee Sin instead.
I mean, Nocturne's early levels, a little bit difficult to pilot, but now it's Rise plus Nocturne double global if they lock it in here, as long as they can stabilize in the laning phase. Or you just go Caitlyn Bard, by the way, because you need to deal with this Ezreal lane, which could be a problem.
It's Jarman. Okay.
It is.
There's just no Nocturne. Not today.
We're just playing a completely different game here in the Rise group.
We certainly are. The Rumble is going to be picked up here for Clear as well. Really good to take that out and fearlessly ban it away from Kingen as well for the rest of the series. But now it gives Kingen the opportunity to answer it, and that is a Camille opportunity. Wow, if there's ever a time to ban Galio, it is right now, immediately, for BNK Furex.
I think they absolutely will, if this is locked in, which it looks like it will be. So probably for Kingen, tough matchup on the top side for the Rumble, especially if the Camille gets some jungle attention.
Yep.
But it could also be played by Lehens because Ezreal Camille is a powerful lane. But now it's really awkward to ban. Like, do you still ban the Karma? Are you worried about that? You know, that's a tricky question that BNK are going to have to find the answer to.
Looks like Nongshim are already playing into it as well. The Shen has been the best answer in the bottom lane to the Camille. And so making it look like that's where they want to be playing it.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because I feel like you can absolutely play Ezreal Camille because you have so much engaged with the Camille already. Galio was pretty obvious, as you pointed out, so that one is now
It's also a good ban, like, to stop Scout from playing it, but to also stop Kingen from playing it into the Rumble, which is kind of funny. So, like, doing double duty there is the Galio ban.
So this final ban is here. It's a Leona ban. I'm like, all right, we're selling it really hard, aren't we?
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, Leona plus Jarvan and the Rumble is a very, very powerful combo. So, understandably, they're going to be banning that one away anyway, but it's somewhat suspect. Okay.
The
Syndra
ban. Okay, so it's just keeping the focus on this Rise pick. They didn't go for the Nocturne. Neither team did. The Lee Sin was the opt-in here, so a few different picks you can go for. Depending on how they want to play this bottom lane, it could be the lock angle for Scout, but it's so tough into the Rise and the Jarvan, so I don't know if he's going to commit. But I mean, they have great setup with the Camille. And it's Scout, so we always have to consider that possibility.
Yeah.
He also likes the Anivia.
He has been he was the first one to make this matchup look unplayable for Rise. It has since not necessarily been as much.
So do you just go Caitlyn Bard because it's the easiest way to set up this bottom lane for success, regardless of whether the Camille is going to be here?
No. You play Kai'Sa Rakan.
Caitlyn Bard.
Okay. Caitlyn Bard will have it.
Caitlyn Bard. It wins
I
against Camille.
I thought I could trust Taeyeon to play some Kai'Sa, but it's not happening.
It wins against Camille. Does pretty good against Karma.
Yeah,
So
I mean, this is obviously the better choice, Wolf, but wouldn't it have been fun?
It would have been. Well, I'm not gonna answer that question actually.
All right.
We have seen it before.
Where is Camille going?
I think she's going to the top lane, and I think they're gonna pick Karma. Otherwise, it's Nico, right? Oh man, trying to play Camille Israel into Caitlyn
But I
Bard
mean, you
is
get
a
to
challenge.
But the thing is, you get to put the Camille in the Bard lane, right? And so once you hit level 6, you can stop Bard from escaping anything if you want to. So it could be a difficult one for Kellen after a bit. And we'll see whether Diablo and Lehens can avoid falling too far behind early.
I like the draft a lot more here for Nongshim Red Force in this one. I think they have so many comfort picks across the board here. You mentioned Scout being a master of the Anivia. Diablo's Ezreal was something we feared as far back as Challengers when he was on Live Sandbox's youth squad.
Yep.
You know, we look at BNK's draft. They have good setup for the Rumble. They have a little bit of global presence to play around with this Rise, but the bottom lane leaves a lot to be desired here for me. The bottom side is the part where they have the really strong point. We'll see if they can play through it. The Camille's the big question mark. You know, what can Lehens do on this? He's been struggling a lot recently.
It has been a tough time for Lehens. My goodness, that is so much popcorn. What is he going to do with all that popcorn?
It says free popcorn's the best.
Oh, wow.
He got it for free.
He got that amount for free? Chijijuk, thank you so much. That's absolutely incredible. Just a gigantic amount of popcorn. If he's listening to the English broadcast, I can see him right here, actually. Oh man, that looks so good. All right, let's go to the Rift game 1. Damn, popcorn is great.
You think he'll get through it throughout the series? You think he'll eat the whole thing?
Based on the pace that he's on right now, it may not make it through game 1.
I mean, you know, when you have a big bucket of popcorn when you go to the theater, you often get through that's relatively small. It depends on the movie, though. But if this goes 3 games, I mean, it's at least 3 hours, right?
I mean he's going to need another box, I think. That's what I'm assuming. I think the Rise group is going to deliver here today.
I'm curious to see, like, what if you watch Titanic, what size he got. He might be a little too young to have watched Titanic in theater like you and I did, but
I think, it might have, unless it was a re-release. They do that in Korea quite often.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that? There was one recently that was very confusing as a re-release, but I can't quite remember what it was.
The amount of times Star Wars, the original trilogy, and even the prequels have been re-released is pretty crazy, as we have a wonky engage.
Yeah, Lehen's going in, but does find himself kind of alone. Diablo also down to about 50%, so Taeyeon and Kellen having a very good time so far in this lane.
Well, we'll keep you guys updated on Popcorn Guy as the night goes on.
It's looking at about 3/4, maybe a little more so far still left in the box. Diablo and Lehens looking for that level 2. They will be able to get it. Taeyeon unfortunately missed experience on 1 minion. Actually 2 by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's going to hurt because they want to have that level 2 to really continue to pressure here.
Kind of crazy.
And it's actually,
oh no, it's probably just 1 just because Kellen got solo experience for one of them.
It's like, you know, the matchup here for Diablo Lehens is they just really feel like they have a long leash they can play with. They got the level 2 advantage. Lehens happy with how his first hookshot engage went, and so as a result, they're kind of chilling, which I really didn't expect this matchup was going to be played that way, because when we see it like in the Legend group with Camille plus anyone into the Bard Caitlyn, it's rough.
Yeah. Normally it should be going pretty well, but not to be the case for now. And I think it's all about level up timings and things like that, the way the lane state was situated. Minions at this level can definitely allocate a fair bit of damage themselves. That's a great Cosmic Binding, though, as Diablo going to get headshotted, perhaps? No, not quite. It does at least get hit by the full Peacemaker.
Couldn't get the trap up in time for the combo there, as this is going to be Diablo having to head home. Kellen wants to stop him.
Oh, if he had just randomly thrown a Q over there into the alcove, that would have been so bad for
That could have
Nongshim.
lost the game for Nongshim. Interesting stat, by the way, the craziest thing I think I've seen today. Lehens Camille, 0-1. He has played the champion 1 time. It's Lehens.
That's kind of crazy.
That is insane to me. He played it obviously a lot more in Kespa Cup, but that's unreal, that stat. Like, you would think he'd be you know, it wouldn't necessarily be a positive win rate because Nongshim are 9 and 16, but I would have thought like 5 games at minimum.
Yeah. Just hasn't been the one playing it. Has been playing into it, I assume, more often than not. But now you can see, I mean, the bottom side of the map is going just fine. Diablo is only a couple of CS behind. Is actually going to make it back to the lane before Taeyun. And so you can see here at 27 is just going to be equalized. Kingen versus Clear in this top lane. Going just fine on either side. I don't think you're really going to be writing home about much. Mid lane is exactly the same situation. And so we're going to be glued to the jungle, Wolf.
We are. And where these junglers do decide to put down that pressure, path top side right now, see if those level 6 timings for those top laners end up being really impactful. Ooh, that barrier, you heard the sound,
even notice,
you didn't see the shield.
Damn.
Really well timed by Diablo. That's a good sign. If you don't actually see that shield, it means you did it at the right moment.
Lens is going to wall dive onto Kellen. They take the magical journey. They're just looking for Diablo. Cosmic Binding to slow him down, and they'll get the flash out of the Ezreal here as Lehens just walks past with full health. Yeah, Taeyun and Kellen are just running this lane.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow start, but they got there eventually. And unfortunately for Diablo, he's now down both summoners. And Lehens is left alone to try to deal with this thinned out wave. Can we get that farm?
Yeah, he is at least going to be able to get the experience here, but that is plate number 1 going over to the Caitlyn.
The other thing about picking this Camille, I mean, it was a flex, right? Like, I'm not that well versed, I'll be honest with you guys, about Camille versus Rumble these days. Both those champions have been changed a lot since the last time they were popular mainstays. Like, Rumble was permanently banned for a really long time, but the bottom lane being pushed in always means that Lehens can't roam on Camille. So, like, half of the reason why you pick Camille is to get out there and get it done. CV Max is here, by the way, today.
Hi, CV Max.
I saw him early in the hallway, said hello to me. He seems like he's in a good mood. Not sure why he's here, but maybe just scouting for playoffs.
Just seeing what's going on. Has a bit of time. As DK are going to be waiting in the playoffs, not having to worry about the play-ins this time around. Must feel good, as they were kings of the Rise group in the last season. Now being able to find a little bit more success and therefore get to a little bit of avoiding the
It's cool to see
rounds.
a coach, you know, just taking a day off, though, even in the most intense part of the season where you're prepping for playoffs and, you know, just kind of enjoying Ballpark from a different view as we have a bit of a fight here. Sponge getting low.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Does have to flash, but Vikler is going to get on top of him. Raptor is moving forward, but he's the first to go down. It's Lehens that gets the kill. Taeyun, though, able to immediately answer back, and now Vikler will be able to put down that Camille. Scout at full health, but doesn't have a whole lot of mana here. As in this mid lane, it looks like Vikler is still going to be just okay, and will be able to take out this wave.
Yeah, just going to be able to crush this wave. Scout's super low on mana, so even with the stun, it's a good stun, but it won't mean anything really. As it's a kill for a Rise, a kill for a Caitlyn, and on the other side, Camille is the one who gets the money. So initially here, Sponge takes so much damage and misses this Q as well, so Raptor goes in. He's like, well, you're not going to be able to do anything. You don't have any mobility. He has to go to his teammate, so he's used all of his mobility, gets rooted here by Vikler. Then he goes back in, trying to burst down this Jarvan, and he is successful, right? He gets all that extra Q damage, sacrifices himself to get that kill, but Lehens dies on the exit. And it's just a bit of a disaster. The Caitlyn getting this ahead this early is what you want if you're BNK, but not what you're necessarily able to normally accrue as an advantage like this one.
Yeah, especially in a skirmish like that. It's not really the time where the Caitlyn is the most powerful. She's normally about wave manipulation and controlling the bottom lane. And does now manage to get 1-0-1 on the scoreboard. So Taeyun very happy with how this game's going.
No barrier for Diablo now. At least he's able to complete his back. But, I mean, look at the items. It's Berserker's Greaves and a Longsword, and now the Sheen is there. Was not there in that moment right before. But, you know, the disparity in terms of power level right now is quite high.
Yeah, what is Taeyun actually able to purchase? A pickaxe as well on this back. That is a lot of power here for the Caitlyn.
Very strong. This Rise is going to be a little bit accelerated, but obviously comes online much later as a real damage threat, so that's not the end of the world. Scout will just clear wave still. It's not like his match was ruined by this Swifties pickup here or anything like that.
Yeah. He also manages to get Catalyst first, so I think that Scout is probably pretty happy with how this one's going. But Nongshim looking to start off some grubs, and And Ambessa, with some grubs, going to feel absolutely fantastic. So that is good news if they're able to lock that one down. It looks like there is going to be no contest as Raptor is hanging out towards that bottom side of the map. And look at this, Diablo doesn't know where the Jarvan is. They've got so much vision. Look at BNK's vision around that Dragon Pit. It is kind of absurd. And that's why the Ezreal is forced under this inner turret.
Yeah. You got your grubs. Now watch what a Caitlyn does without them to your turret. And
yeah.
It's pretty rough. Raptor is still here with Cataclysm. And so, Kellen, by the way, also about to be able to turn this turret off. He is like 1 minion away from getting Tempered Fate, significantly faster than Lahen's having his ultimate. They're just trying to force a scrap here. They have so much control, and Sponge needs to be careful. No flash.
Gonna get knocked up here, and I don't know what his answer is going to be outside of that kick. So he does use it, gets rid of Raptor. Kellen not able to get a flash play or anything like that. Doesn't actually have the summoner spell available.
It's crazy. Kellen, if he got any experience from anywhere, he would have been able to set up a Tempered Fate to get a kill on that play. 1000% if he has it.
I think he might have got it from killing a ward just then, because he does now have Tempered Fate available.
I don't think those give XP anymore.
All right, so he might have got it from the mid lane or something like that. But it was a very small amount of experience.
Yeah, he needed like anything to die near him that actually gives XP, but Kellen has it now, and he's like, Diablo, you're pretty far up, and that's if I say so, that's not a turret actually for a few seconds.
All right, so first dragon goes over to BNK Furex. Second one is going to be an Infernal, and you know what that means. It's definitely a Cloud Soul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah. Casting with you, so.
It's got to be the Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've been denied my Earth, Wind, and Fires. I've been very confident about them, and they just haven't come through. It's been often just Chemtech instead, which is just very sad.
Last game of the season, it's going to pull through for you. Or last series, it's not the last game.
I really appreciate the positive attitude. That's what we need to covet. That's what I'm into. That's all right. Scout just very comfortably clearing out waves over and over again. Does find a really nice stun. This is what he's been doing to our Rise players over and over again. It's just walling them off, getting guaranteed stuns, and always having the wave clear necessary. And it's good to see that he still has exactly that prepared for this game on the Anivia. Spickla's going to have that back.
He'll go home one day. One day he'll go home. That might be right now, actually. But second time, Scout has annoyed him with a pesky stun.
Oh, Public Execution is just put on cooldown for fun.
Oh, if he got that catch there, would have been so massive because they have so many people here. They're still looking for it.
Oh, yeah, in goes Sponge. Tempered Fate does come down, but I don't know whether that's necessarily helping. Immediate flash out from Clear. Great block from Kellen, but that's only going to give Sponge a Q target, and down will go the Bard. They'll just take whoever's in front and be happy with the kill.
Yeah, Kellen saves the Rumble. I don't know what it means because they still get a kill. They still have control over this turret. Now, Caitlyn is pushing the bottom turret here. It is a bit of a turret race, and with Kingen still having TP, he's going to defend this, so it looks like Yongshan will eventually get that first turret on the top side.
Yeah, they immediately have Kingen go into a trap, but that's going to be fine.
Like I said, it was a little bit healthier than I thought. Still has 2 plates left, and they do disperse. So I spoke a bit soon on that one. Still a lead in terms of plates here for B&K. Clear doesn't have an equalizer, and there's so many people up here. Kellen wants to use the Tempered Fate to save the day, but he's just not able to do it, as Clear just can't escape while he's in there. Len's just waiting for his opportunity to look for an ult. Kellen blocks, and then just finds himself dead as a result. There's no way Raptor can turn this play. There are so many members up there on the top side. They're all up there.
And it has to be said, turning off your own turret is generally not a good idea.
Yeah.
But it was difficult to hit that Tempered Fate onto just Clear without accidentally hitting the turret as well. So a little bit unfortunate for the Bard. Probably wanted to have Clear in a different spot if you wanted to lock that one down. But coordinating that is just real hard.
There's just so many members there that, like, if you try to catch the whole team, you can't catch the whole team. And so the turret is large. It was quite a complex situation to play out. But Kellen, at least he pressed R. He did try to do it.
All right, Kingen back towards his top side now.
This is Taeyun saying, you know, I'm just going to get plates somewhere else. He's level 9 right now. He is very big in this game. And he's collecting. He's getting all the money, and he's hoping to get some takedowns to actually collect with his collector. But right now, still collecting plates on the push, forcing a reaction here. Now, in the bottom lane, Diablo has some free farm over into this Rumble, and actually has a jungler set up. They might try to kill Clear again. Got away last time with the sacrifice of Kellen. They're not going to commit this time around, though.
Yeah, doesn't have flash, but does have a turret, so he'll be okay.
Equalizer, too.
As Vikla is finding this lane more and more annoying by the looks of things. That stun is going to miss, but the Glacial Storm. Scout just pulls the minions into it. And yeah, laning into the Anivia, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not that interactive at this stage of the game. As Kingin grabs another plate.
It's going to proc an Overgrowth. And they're grouping on the other side of the map right now. Kellen with his ult back up, looking to try to potentially get this turret off of this wave. Not this one, but the one that's on their team that's coming down. Yep. And with this huge crash with the cannon minion, I think they will get it. What did Nongshim do? Do they cross map onto the Rumble again, or they try to muster up a defense? Like, I think this turret is just gone. I think it's just done.
And now Sponge is looking for a red buff, and it looks like Raptor wants to disallow that from happening as well. And that will lose patience. That's a Realm Warp. And it's not actually going to be taken, but it still will be BNK grabbing back control of this Brambleback.
Yeah, even going to get it without the smite after having full control there. Sponge wants to look for a punish here onto Vikla, but he's not able to get into Q range. Doesn't have flash. They don't want to ward hop. Now going in.
Yeah, Lahen's going to find an angle, but the double knockout from Raptor is absolutely fantastic. He's put into the ultimatum, though, but look at Vikla's damage. Kind of absurd. Still they're going to lose Raptor. But Vikla now just doing whatever he wants in this battle. Nice stun from Scout, though. Have they found the turn? The answer is not quite in the nick of time. But still, Scout is able to find that kill, and now he's on the board.
Scout saving the day there with a 6 stun. That's why he picks this into the Rise. It's not just for lane. He's doing it in the team fight there as well. A little skirmish in this early game. Gets a little bit messy. So look at Lahen's engaged here, gets turned on, but then he's able to Hextech ultimate a Raptor, just gets stunned here. But look at all the damage that's coming out from Kellen and Vikla at the same time. Sponge just gets pushed down. Vikla splashes onto him here, and as he tries to chase Lahen, watch this. Scout gets the double stun, and they're both in his ultimate, so taking so much damage. Vikla is barely able to get one last Q off there to get the kill, otherwise it would have been even worse.
I actually kind of think that if Lahen's had have just wall dove straight back into him, it might have even been worse.
Yes. I agree.
Would have been crazy. All right, Raptor is going to have to flag and drag to get himself out of here. Sponge still looking for the angle. He finds that Q, but doesn't actually go back in on it. Oh, my lord. Okay, BNK is going to be pushed away from this dragon.
Yeah.
Drakes look to be evened out here. Nongshim staying in this one.
Scout having a day out. Now, it's crazy to me that bottom turret's still alive. I don't think that should be the case, but it is still up. And they're still in a playthrough as they're going to ult Lahen's, but no one's here. They could have just ulted the dragon, but also their jungler. I don't know. Okay.
All right. Oh my god! I knew it.
He knew it.
And by I knew it, I mean I'm really glad that it happened. That's what I really mean.
Had a large,
thank you very much.
Large chance of success.
Yep. We're going to group tonight. I think it's about 25%.
It is actually 25%. That's pretty high for someone just making statements like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. All right, Lahen's now looking for this top lane and decides instead that he'll save that adventure for another day.
Taeyun had the push on the bottom lane and decided to drop it to help contest with the Brambleback. And I guess he was trying to leave it up to also deny farm from Diablo, but instead he's just gave Diablo a little bit longer to have a safe haven to farm into, and then now that turret is still up and they didn't get the money from it, and they're at risk of losing first brick themselves now. I don't want to over-index on this any further, but it is crazy to me that turret is still alive. We're going to see a TP flank here from Kingin.
Yeah, Lahen's actually immediately starting off this fight. Puts Raptor in the Hextech ultimatum. True Shot Barrage not exactly doing the most here, as Public Execution going to miss from Kingin, and he gives away his position. The rest of BNK just reform the phalanx, but Scout doing a lot of work. Sponge going to be put in the Cataclysm, but just kicks Raptor out of it. And the disengage will be successful, but they do not claim control of this river.
Yeah, this is going to be the Herald here for B&K. Since Sponge is so low and is flashless now, he just needs to leave. Diablo trying to get control back of this mid wave, but Vikla's going to come over here and clear these waves instead, just to make sure they have full control over the map. Diablo getting pushed down.
Yeah, Vikla is almost able to find another Rune Prison there.
If he had...
Diablo is still burning.
If he had Summoner spells, Diablo dies 1000% there. Well, so would have Sponge, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
So maybe he would have then not had them because he killed the Lee Sin. But either way, Vikla cannot actually secure the kill, but gets a lot of push there. And now Taeyun is just going to pick up right where he right where he left off and push this huge wave in here that no one is answering currently.
1.4K now the lead for the Caitlyn.
they could set up for a pretty quick Herald push into that turret. Might want to save it for an upcoming team fight for Dragon, for example, instead, but a lot of gold just waiting to be taken here for BNK in this game that's currently dead even in gold.
Let's see who can actually make the first big lead here in this game. It's Lehens, not with the Hextech ultimatum just yet. Isn't able to trap Kellen in the river. But Taeyin just parked in this mid lane very, very happily, getting these waves shoved in over and over again. BNK, I think they can kind of set the pace as much as they would like. But Nongshim might be able to find an opportunistic fight, right? And Sponge, I think, has been getting his eye in as this game has gone. I think his early few skirmishes didn't look very good. Did find some angles after that. Lehens going to get tempered faded.
This time there's follow-up.
Yeah, it does get knocked up. Oh, never mind. Actually just going to throw down the ulti, but I don't think it's going to save him. And in fact, he's just dead.
Okay, well, Caster Curse strikes again, but does end up getting his 4th death of the game on this Camille. And it's just Herald time. You know, there's no support here, no punish. They decide to send it bottom lane, though.
Where are we driving here, Raptor?
Bottom lane.
He is just going to get the charge into this bottom lane turret that had 0 health anyway.
But now they have to defend, and
oh dear! Okay, yeah, Sponge is just dead. Cataclysm is going to come down on top of Kingen as well. He's going to try and keep himself alive. Scout making his way over. The magical journey comes in. That is a dead Jarvan, and now Kellen will be following suit, possibly a kill to go over to Diablo. Yeah, that wasn't the Herald that you really wanted to get into.
By the way, Taeyin, what I was going to say is they're pushing both solo lanes right now with Taeyin in the mid lane and then the Clear in the top lane on the Rumble. In this case, it's often Kingen we're talking about.
Clear is also looking to kill Lehens. He needs a Q.
He just respawned.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, while they defend, they're going to lose a lot of stuff in the top and mid lane. They kind of, sort of defended, but lost their turret there, lost mid turret, and are practically losing the turret in top lane. And we'll get this turret back here as Scout continues to push into Vikla. It's kind of been a year of Vikla and Scout situation in this game. They're both playing really well individually.
I would agree.
As this was pretty funny to watch how this one went down. As then they decide to go on to Raptor here, or at least like they're thinking about it, and then they just get... It's not even Actualizer, they just get Vikla. He's pretty big on this rise in this game.
Yeah.
Scout's not here yet, so they could have actually won the fight if he was there, and as you see when he does show up, they do.
Whoa, we've got even more fights happening here as the Tempered Fate is going to lock down Lehens. Hextech Ultimatum does come in. Wall is down, it's a good stun as Raptor is able to flash out of the way of that True Shot Barrage, and now Kingen, can you find the public execution this time as Vikla is going to get jumped on? Equalizer is in an awkward spot, but Kingen is still trying to bounce around the back of this fight, puts himself inside the wall so he can flash over it. That was sick, and Sponge just murders himself.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Arm guard at the ready. Vikla
is now, oh no, he's in a cage. Diablo's able to get that kill. Really beautiful wall.
This is a Rise group game.
All right, the flash from Taeyin just shoots Kingen and he's very, very dead. Now Lehens looking for an angle towards his backline, but a couple of bullets will take care of the Camille as well.
Speedy Rumble!
Yeah, Clear is making his way in. Can he find some harpoons onto Diablo? The answer is going to be no. But the answer is also no about Nongshim doing anything about this dragon.
Speedy Rumble! That's all I've got to add in this game. It's not a thinking man's game. It's not an analyst's game. It's a play-by-plays game, you know?
I think they forgot that Taeyin could do shooting.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. So the game plan for BNK has been farming Lehens. He keeps respawning around this spot on the map.
Yeah.
And it's Kellen who keeps trying to get him. They actually got him 4 times, and then since then he's kind of been able to wiggle his way out of this. This Equalizer left a lot to be desired here. It makes it a little bit awkward for Diablo to play this fight, but otherwise pretty low value. Clear's forced to flash over the wall here, and as Sponge tries to kill him, he just goes golden and then goes back in with a TP after escaping. That's a really nice catch here on the Vikla, who wants to go for the play on the King in there, but didn't have vision, not able to snipe the Ambessa. And then Taeyin does the shooting, which is, like you said, you know, maybe something they had forgotten about. Lehens tries to go back in, like Sponge before him, and might, you know, I guess you could say meets the same fate, a little bit different who killed him there, but...
And it was also a bit of a miscommunication, right? Lehens is going in, and Scout is putting up a wall so they can leave.
Yeah.
Showing that Nongshim haven't really got that in-fight communication down pat just yet.
It's such an important series. It's such a high-stakes game where you really want to prove yourself here. But it's getting a little bit chaotic. It's getting a little bit broken down here for Nongshim. This is what we said. They got the caliber of player, but the teamwork sometimes in question.
Yeah, that's going to be the most important after the dust has settled. Scout can actualize.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer here for Vikla, who just finishes his rod, so finds himself a full level behind post-rod completion here. Scout, 0 deaths.
He is a monster.
He is quite experienced in terms of what he's been picking up on the map. Is once again trying to find Sponge here.
Yeah, Vikla is going to find Lahens as well. There's some low health bars on Nongshim, but Vikla is now running an awkward way. Does have Kellen there. He can set up a magical journey as now Diablo is kind of separated from the rest of the team.
B&K were just like, what are they doing? They just kind of like left.
I have to admit, I was kind of there with them.
Yeah. Scout's TP, if they went back, if they tried to run back, could have been, you know, he catches them there. He's able to set up a lot of damage. He has his actualizer. Maybe they end up, like if B&K just tried to walk up back through their jungle to escape that situation, they would have run into an Anivia and maybe, you know, Scout picks up like a triple kill and the fate of this game has changed. Instead, he used his TP and didn't get any value out of it, and B&K maintained their 1,500 gold lead.
Yeah, and now Taeyun has got 3 items. So wanting to hit 4, obviously, to feel really good about the whole situation, but Vikla is going to be turned on in this bottom side and does just Realm Warp his way out. And Kellen has a magical journey, so he's really catching him there.
2 minutes of Nongshim play has just been them almost getting things and trying really hard to pick people, but just not finding them.
And now Lahens possibly in trouble again. This time Fate's Call is not going to connect. The Sponge goes for the kick play, actually boots Vikla into the wall and then just dies. Public execution, let's go for it again. This time it's successful as down goes the right. Taeyun now trying to stay in position, immediately clear. Comes on in but does get CC'd. Kingen bouncing around the battlefield and Taeyun claims another life. Diablo trying to get these Mystic shots in, but Raptor is able to get himself out, and it's more kills. Over to this Caitlyn with those 3 items. Scout is actually playing this one very well, though, as I don't know about this one from Kellen, but there's aren't a lot of cooldowns, as Taeyun will be able to kill this egg. Yeah, splat goes that one.
Yeah, I think that might have been the back-breaking play for B&K.
I don't think their back was feeling fantastic either before that.
Yeah.
Nongshim's, that is.
Yeah, it's not. Ooh, so we're doing the thing where we try to catch Lahens with a Tempered Fate, but he avoids it this time. So then Nongshim are like, all right, they're on Tempered Fate, let's go in. Sponge just gets re-engaged on, and then finally Kingen hits an ult, except he doesn't really like the full end result here. Does, on the initial play, find that success, and as Lahens is going on to clear with a hook shot, then ulting Raptor, he just dies. Clear has his Zonius completed, and, you know, Taeyun is reminding Nongshim that he shoots at the...
Yeah.
Scout plays this really well. Has the zoning here for Raptor, gets the stun onto Kellen. Kellen's trying to burst him down. He gets the kill there before he ends up going into egg and then dying. But, I mean, it's his first death of the game, and I think it's his first egg of the game. I just don't really have anything bad to say about how Scout is playing individually. I think it'd be an insult to do so. He's actually playing incredibly well, but the team needs to work together a little bit better.
And Sponge, I mean, he's still going for things. You can see he's in position to try for a play. As now Scout looking for Raptor, gets put to the Tempered Fate as the Equalizer goes down. Not exactly great synergy there. Actually elects to go golden as the Peacemaker flies over the top. Oh my god! Taeyun just executes him from about a 3rd health with 1 headshot. True Shot Barrage is just truly not the Ezreal doing very much. As it turns out, he's put down by Raptor, and B&K FearX, I think they can just march up this mid lane and break open this game.
It has been, you know, it's 27.5 minutes in this game. It's been non-stop action. 29 kills in this one, but B&K just started winning more and more as Nongshim's attempts to find some sort of coordination got worse and worse as these players got more and more fed. And they're now trying to siege up with this Caitlyn to end the game. 15 seconds on Scout, and I think they just have enough damage.
Yeah, Taeyun able to create that distance. Into the backline goes Lahens, and Taeyun, I'm pretty sure he's just saying, you miss me, boys? Because I haven't died this game. I'm 10-0-4, and you waved goodbye to me all those weeks ago. B&K FearX 1-0 in our final best of 3 of the season.
Vikla with one of his best games over the last half of the season on the rise, but the story was about the lack of coordination from Nongshim. They had a great comp, and they were able to seemingly get out of the Caitlyn laning phase where Diablo was put down. It was really struggling to farm. They had those scrappy team fights around the red buff. They were able to fight back a little bit, but could not actually ultimately really win decisive fights or ever get back map control despite Scout's best efforts. And Lehens, the most I feel like he did this game, unfortunately, was sometimes surviving Kellen's engages on him, but most of the time actually not surviving those.
Yeah.
The Camille pick, which was his second of the year here in LCK, just did not hit.
It didn't. He was able to do some separating of some of the bad guys, but ultimately they weren't able to get very much done. Vikla did the most damage in the game. Taeyeon very, very close behind, but this rise was gigantic. And you can see, based on the gold, they were always basically in the lead, but those last couple of fights really did push them over the edge, and they wasted no time in finishing this game off. 28 minutes is actually on the shorter side for this season. And Taeyeon looking pretty comfortable here as they walk and get a little bit of rest before game number 2. We're going to do the same thing. It's time for us to take a break. The Space is then going to break down this first game, and then we will have potentially the final game of the day and the final regular season game of the season. It's ridiculous. We'll see you after the break.
도대오 봐봐 이거.
야, 나 에고 삼한다 여기서.
형 거기
봐줄래.
나 애니비아 좀 볼게.
애니비야. 되게 보자.
애니비아 좋아. 애니비아 잡았어. 애니비아 잡았어.
앞면상 해봐. 앞면상 봐줘 이거 뒤에.
애니비아 잡았어.
천천히 볼게.
야 와봐. 나 속박 됐어.
나 스킬 없어. 앞면상 폴 있어. 야,
오케이. 얘들아 미드가 더 끝날만 해 진짜로. 미드 갈래? 다들 여기 집 끊어줄래? 앞에다.
그냥 40초. 그냥 바로 형하는 게 낫다.
바로 아니 30초나 해보자.
야, 태훈이 형 한번 들어줘.
그냥 끝날 것 같아.
Give us a bit of an idea as to how this is going to get turned around, because it was looking real dicey in the first one. The Nocturne surprisingly fell all the way through the draft. We'll see whether that does happen again.
I more than draft, I just want to see this team coordinate. And you would think with Lehens at the helm, you know, that's the assumption. He's the biggest voice here, but with his performances right now, it's kind of like when Barrel had his fall off, where maybe the voice wasn't being trusted. The leadership seems to be in question in terms of what we're seeing in the Rift.
I would have
drafting something like, I know you would have.
Yeah.
I would have too, to be fair. Maybe something like an Annie Wukong in a Rise Group special. You know, maybe something a little simpler, where you just kind of...
Kizaja?
Yeah. We're going to simple, Rise Group.
All right, let's see whether they do follow those instructions. The Orianna Cassio are both going to be banned away here by BNK FearX. The Vi is already banned, though. Often we see this as one of our second pick bans. They will have a bit of added flexibility. Double bans onto Raptor. I think he's probably pretty happy to get his hands onto a doggo, though. The Neferia has been something that Raptor has found a lot more success on this end of the season.
Nautilus ban.
Okay, Kellen not going to see that one. It is one of Lehens' favorites, so it's kind of interesting that we see it banned so early on.
Could ban Lulu, I suppose.
Yeah, I think
Nocturne is available still, but...
Is that what the idea is, though? Because you see a Nautilus ban and you're expecting Yunara Lulu to be slammed immediately.
Yeah, that's my feeling. But since they have first pick, you know, they'd only pick the Lulu first. And now there's no Nocturne Lulu. You don't have to first pick the Lulu, of course. Could go for something else. The Lucian. It's just one Lulu, but it's okay.
All right.
Feels like we're headed to another Lucian, Milio, Yunara, Lulu game. It was the Kog'Maw we saw in the previous series, though.
Yep.
But Taehoon doesn't like that. He wants to play Yunara.
Yeah, I think Yunara Lulu is just fine. Lucian Milio should theoretically win the 2v2, but with jungle support, that's when things get a little bit murky. And I think that Raptor has definitely been a little bit more proactive in the earlier stages. Lehends is obviously going to get the Milio, but what are they going to pair alongside this? Maybe getting their hands onto a priority jungler would be the idea. Pantheon has been banned, though.
Yeah,
So is the Vi and Nocturne.
I just feel like there's a lot of picks you can play in mid lane with this that are really good. Like Taliyah, for example. But in this draft, you can't really lock something like that in right now. And if you go for a jungle pick here, Nefiri could be the way you want to play it because you have that quick burst to get the Lucian that takedown right at the beginning of the fight. But it's a little bit ambiguous the way this draft is going to play out because you don't have you don't have bottom prio necessarily. I like this actually a lot more.
Yeah, I like this too.
Because now you at least have another strong win con to play through, even if your Lucian Milio doesn't get jungle attention and isn't running away with the bottom lane.
Well, do they choose to counterpick top lane, or are they going to lock in a priority jungler here on the side of BNK Furex? That is my question. This would be the time that you can get yourself a Jax or a Kled or a Vayne, and the Vayne will be the lock-in.
That was such a cool camera shot, by the way, we had of the top jungle there, which is the matchup in question there.
Yep.
And then it zoomed in and then faded into Raptor's view there as, into Clear's view as the Vayne was locked in. Very sick to see. So the blind Olaf might get punished. We'll see what mid picks get removed here now. Akali for Twisted Fate trade.
I don't know whether I like Akali into Olaf. It's not my favorite, and it will make this draft pretty wonky for BNK Furex, depending on what they lock in for Vikla and for Raptor. This is a chance for Nongshim to put themselves together a team fighting composition that can really slam them down hard in the mid game.
There is no Anivia, as a wall, but there is still the Taliyah as a possible option here, which doesn't have strong jungle pairings though, with no Vi, no Pantheon. I'm curious where Vikla will head with this one. This final ban will likely be towards him, but it could also be a jungle ban.
Yep. And Scout thinning out the mid pool, I think, is probably going to benefit him more than Vikla, but instead they are going to get rid of the Nefiri. Not something that they really want because they do want setup CC coming from the jungle, but I imagine they'd be fearing it alongside the Lulu.
Yeah. Do they just take Xin and say, well, we have a front line now. It's a strong blind jungle pick. No. Annie.
And counterpick for Raptor as well is kind of interesting. We'll see where he does decide to go. Obviously, still threatening a Trundle or something like that if Kingen did want to pick up a tank, but he's already playing Olaf.
Ban makes more sense now.
Okay. Is Scout going to pull out the newly buffed Azir?
Yes.
That is our question.
I think he is. I think he's doing it.
Man, it's been a while since we've commentated an Azir game. Scout is going to do it.
It's been one of the most prevalent picks in Pro for the entirety of Azir's existence. And it's been, I think, the longest stretch where we haven't seen him.
Yeah.
We get the graphic?
Probably. I imagine we will. I'm kind of hoping that we do.
Yeah. All right, this is going to be the Xin here. Now, if you play Wukong into this, it's pretty weak early, even though it's good with the Annie. I actually kind of like Trundle here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Olaf on the other side, too. You could help shred through those resistances. You have tons of 80 damage with the Vayne and the Yunara if you Trundle ult the Olaf while he's running at you. But it's Rise Group, so we're going to keep it simple, Rise Group.
It's Wukong Annie, baby.
Yeah. I like Trundle here, though. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, Raptor. Yes! You lock that in.
Let's see whether he actually does. Hovering it. There it is. We asked for it, and we will receive our Trundle. Good matchup into the Xin Zhao, as you mentioned already. And yes, can strip the resistances of this Olaf, who does get buffed up when he does press his R button.
I mean,
So
the
a pretty cute
Trundle
move.
that has a wild growth cast on him is also just temporarily basically a Cyclone. You know, I mean, it works the same
There
way.
you go. You don't get to recast it, but at least you get to cast it
Yeah,
once.
it doesn't persist either on the ground or is not able to move and follow, but in that one frame.
You can also
The
set up some
Cyclone.
pretty fun condemn angles as well.
Yeah.
If your aim is correct with the pillar. So some cool stuff can come through between Clear and Raptor as well.
I think
But
this-
will take some finesse to play it.
I think this draft for Nongshim is the same thing we said all game one for Nongshim and this player.
Oh, by the
It
way,
is-
we had a question in chat. This is really important. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
All right.
they were asking, do we have an update on Popcorn Guy? He is about halfway through the box.
Yeah, I'd say like just a little over halfway as well. Like
Yeah, I would
1/3.
say that he's slowed down a little bit, but our last game was only 28 minutes long,
Yeah.
so it wasn't exactly a big
He
one.
needs a 3-gamer to finish, I think. But I was just
Yeah.
say, this draft for Nongshim is all about Scout. They gave him the Azir for a reason. He was their best performing player in game one, and he has to carry them across the line of this draft.
Yeah, and he's also playing base skin Azir as well. Oh, fantastic. Let's get into the Rift game too. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The Emperor has returned, as Scout will be playing it here in potentially Nongshim's final game of what? It's not their final game. They're going to play-ins regardless.
Yeah, both of these
but-
teams are, but
Yeah, never mind. It is still
their final game of the regular season.
final game of the regular season of 2026. There you go. Tried to get all narrative on it and just like completely botched it, but that's okay.
Will they be on the first or the second team interview?
There you go. And will they have the momentum moving towards these play-ins as well, which can be very volatile, especially with KT moving on in there as well.
And for Bro, watching this, they really need this Nongshim win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they lose first place of the Rise group and will fall to second.
Isn't it? Is it not? Yeah, it's second, right? With a loss. So BNK Furex will be first. And so some heals being traded here. Even a barrier on both 80 carries has been removed. And these health bars looking somewhat similar. Taeun with access to the wave, though, always a scary prospect.
Yeah, a little bit scary when Kellen can operate on this brush as well. They are going to get control. And Taeun's got his Q stacked.
Yep. Slurkle not going to quite find the mark. But we'll be able to continue hitting things. Got all those orbs built up. And Diablo actually taking the rough end of that trade, as we can see. Kellen just trying to help out as best he can here in this lane. And Taeun, he's missing a bit of CS, but he is making sure that
There's an
Nongshim
early
are struggling as well. At least he gets
sponge
the
gang.
cannon. Yeah, this is a lot of
Oh,
minions to
vision.
deal with as well. But let's see whether Nongshim can lock this one down. He's just wandering on in. Campfire goes down, and Taeun just going to get into the alcove and die. Realized that there was no real way for him to do anything about this, and now Raptor's moving on forward, but Diablo wants to punish Kellen, needs a couple more autos, but Kellen does have the shield to keep himself alive.
I mean,
Nongshim
Kellen
on the board early.
tries to bait him in there, but Diablo does not take the bait, doesn't flash for a kill, and find himself into the waiting arms of Raptor there. He's happy to take the kill there for the Xin on a really nice punish play. Watching this again, I mean, look how quickly Sponge is able to wrap around, and by the time they realize there is just nothing that they can do. The Campfire practically useless, honestly, in this play, but it looked really cool. And, it's just all Sponge. He's the one who gets the kill. They almost get this onto Kellen. He has that shield. Diablo does not flash for the play, which is the correct call.
I would say so. And Taeun also didn't blow his flash. Kellen as well didn't need to. So they retain a fair bit of control for that reason. And now they're looking to try and punish Diablo. The Relentless Pursuit comes in, does get polymorph, goes for the flash, and Raptor is dead. Diablo is going to pick it up, and they were unable to get the kill. Oh, grats on getting the flash, I guess.
All right, Atlas. A little bit messier here in the early game of this one for the side of BNK. We'll put some win rates up here.
Oh, look at Diablo dashing on for it, but does not find the angle to go all in. Level 4 gained for the Lucian. He's still looking a little worse for wear.
His barrier is coming back up pretty soon, and also Taeun is pretty low on mana, so if BNK are going to win this 2v2, they're going to have to do it really efficiently, and they're going to have to do it very quickly.
Well, Vikla now taking some damage as well, as Wind Becomes Lightning will not connect from Sponge. Good sidestep from Vikla. As BNK Furex kind of licking their wounds. And it was really interesting because even though Nongshim picked up first blood before, they didn't actually get a gold lead because of it.
Yeah.
Vikla had just shoved a wave in to scout. He has managed to catch up, but not all the way. As you can see, still a 10 CS margin. And the top lane as well is going well for BNK Furex. It's just that they make too many of these mistakes. Things are going to be real rough.
The pillar doesn't really do anything here because Lucian has the dash, so he just kind of dashes past it and makes this face.
It's like I don't need any help?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what he said, but because I was talking over at the same time, so my active
It was
listening
something
canceled.
like that. Right, Kellen going to face check and dive. And they're going to look for Taeyeon as well. Diablo chasing after him. Press the attack. Getting stacked up as now Raptor is potentially in trouble as well. Pillar goes down. That's going to slow up Diablo, but he still picks up the kill. And now he's on a killing spree. It's 4-0 here in this early game. And Nongshim, oh man, I think we might be going to that third game. I think Popcorn Guy may need to get a refill.
He's getting closer to halfway. He's about almost exactly halfway right now. Is Vikla going to
Scout going to be able to find the Emperor's Divide here. Tibbers is fighting the Pigeon though. Bear versus Bird, often quite good for the Bear. As now Lahens is in trouble. Kellen looking to chase after him.
Surely Kellen doesn't flash. He's got heal advantage. Oh no, don't do it. Ugh. Diablo gets a 4th kill off of Kellen trying. This would be so nasty.
Yeah, that would not be what Kellen was looking for.
He's not going to go for it, but he's still going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, one double tap. As now Scout looking for an angle. Conquering Sand's not going to connect.
He's solo on
just
mana.
Walking for him.
Vikla's about to get a stun, so he needs to be careful trying to make any more plays like that. All right, Raptor, I get it. You're angry, but you know, this wasn't really what you picked the Trundle for, unfortunately, for pillaring Illusion. Not necessarily your greatest strength in this game. Kingen is also kind of a problem.
Yeah, Clear does get lit on fire, and now Kingen running quite quickly, but not really too much more going to happen there. The culling comes down from Diablo, and will not be able to get any kills, but I don't know whether Taeyeon and Kellen really want to be in this lane, to be honest. Scout gets electrocuted, and I think finally we'll just go home.
This is a huge push in this bottom lane. Clear's trying to get Kingen into an uncomfortable spot. Kingen has his ult.
Yeah, there's the ulti out from Clear. We'll need another tumble, and that actually misses. Kingen gets in there with the shield and brings down that reckless swing to get the solo kill onto the Vayne. And they chose this. And the flash actually comes out here from Scout, does shift the sands over, and he's now looking to get these autos in. Finally, another one comes up.
They're just
Down
winning
goes the
everywhere! They're everywhere! They're winning in the top lane, they're winning in the mid lane, they're winning in the bottom lane. Okay, the top lane is dead, but besides that, Nongshim, they just won everywhere all at the same time.
Winning everywhere all at once
lost
or
briefly
something.
in the top lane. There's a small brief loss. They're going to be winning again.
Do you think that both Taeyeon and Kellen will die, or just one?
Kellen has flash. I think they both die, though.
Yeah, I think they're both dead. Well, Taeyeon is going to try and fight against
Good
Diablo
side
here,
stuff.
doing the best that he can, but he is still extraordinarily dead. Down he will go. Kellen survives.
All right, I thought for sure they get both.
That was a solo kill. We had cheerleaders on the Rift.
Yeah. So you ready for game 3?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all right. Scout down to 50%.
Because this game is looking pretty donezo. Yes, Scout does lose a lot of his health from that combo. But watch this from Kingen's perspective. Gets the slow. Flash away. Misses the Q. And as the invis goes up, he just flashes on him as soon as he reappears. And it's like he's stutter stepping the autos there.
Yeah, looking
And
real good.
then
Sometimes you just stick around for that wave that you shouldn't take.
Raptor's like, I've identified this champion doesn't have a dash.
Yeah.
My pillar is going to be high effect.
Does press the subjugate
This,
button.
man, Scout's flash into the re-engage with the dash just runs him down. Look at this extra damage. Oh! He read the patch notes!
Yep. He pressed the Arise button. He didn't actually need Conquering Sand, so
Yeah,
the
that's
patch
actually
notes
true. Yeah, no,
did not
actually-
make a difference.
Yeah, not actually true.
But he probably did read the patch notes.
Yeah, he was
still.
reading it, and then it was like, oh, this part wasn't on the patch notes.
Yeah, it's like maybe we should have been playing Azir this whole time. As he does move to about a 200 gold lead. Clear now This is really rough, right? Because if you start 4 behind, it is problematic. Oh, Scout is so lucky Vikla didn't have a stun. Otherwise, he would have looked very silly.
He still looked kind of silly, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's true.
I think that's what you were saying. I kind of...
No, you're right. It would have looked way worse, though, if he had have just missed the Emperor's Divide and then just got stunned and died.
Well...
It is still anyone's
I mean, look, if he got stunned, it would have kind of looked like an outplay, sort of, even though it wasn't. So I guess, I don't know. Silliness meter on that one, a little ambiguous, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not the play he was looking for, but he's fine. It's okay.
All right, so this whole game is Diablo versus BNK Furex, and he is extremely far ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the Olaf is behind technically, but I don't know if that really matters that much because of what Olaf is going to do later on in this game.
And what he has already done so far this game as well. Slurkle comes out from Taeun after the barrier did have to be used. They get a ward over, double wards in fact, to make sure that Sponge needed to waste a lot of time if he wanted to clear them. Raptors moving in to see whether he can actually save them. Good flash from Taeun. The culling not quite going to be enough here. They've taken out the Lulu already. As Raptor moves in, he does have Subjugate, so he's pretty tanky actually. See whether he does, he does press the button. As now Taeun, it's just going to get flashed on. Why was he there?
I don't know.
That's the big question.
I don't know.
Diablo is losing a battle to some minions right now as he's down to about 100 health, and now Raptor is running the wrong direction. There's some plate money. The Diablo just picks up a 7th kill!
All right. FF15. Oh my god, this game is... Oh, this series is a mess. Oh, it is. Like I thought game 1 was rough, but now Nongshim are bouncing back, and on this play, Lehens picks up the turret aggro here. Sorry, Diablo picks up the turret aggro on the first one. So this means that it's really easy for Lehens to do it on the second, so Sponge keep playing through. They don't actually have to play here until Taeun steps forward. And yeah, Sponge is like, all right, it's my turn to get a turret aggro, and Raptor's like, nah, man, I'll just leave the turret.
Yeah.
And then Diablo's like, all right, well, I'll take another one. He has 7 kills. He has 7 kills at that point in the game was about 10:30.
That's quite early to have 7 kills.
Yeah, it's pretty high. He's 2,600 gold ahead.
Does he have 2 items yet?
Let's see.
I think he'd be relatively close.
Get out of here, total gold. Nah, he's not quite there yet.
All right. Needs about 1,000 more. And then
does Taeun have 1 item yet?
No.
He's also not relatively close.
No, he's not. Yeah, if we were to have a look at total gold, I don't know whether Taeun actually has as much as the lead that Diablo has right now. That's the crazy thing about having an advantage like this early on.
They're like, should we kill the turret or just keep taking the waves and pushing it in so he can't get money? They have to make a philosophical choice. I think Diablo likes money. Yeah. He's going to get both. He's going to deny this wave and then probably on the next wave kill the turret. Or at least, actually, what we could do is delay this so he gets the whole wave denied, and then also gets the turret. Almost all of it. Clean. 3,400 gold lead now? He probably should go spend it.
I think he can probably almost get Flicker Blades as well as he goes back home. And Sponge should be able to grab this dragon. Infernal Soul this game would be a whole lot of fun.
So we liked the Trundle in the dragon.
Oh dear. Oh, there he goes. Gets the flash out of Vikla. And it's a Hextech Soul this game. That's all to lie. There's another flash in from Scout. Picks up the solo. Man, you can see how happy he is that he gets to play Azir again.
Yeah. And it feels like Vikla hasn't played against Azir in a while.
Which is funny because he was a real Azir enjoyer.
It was we were bringing up Year of Vikla after his rise in Game 1, but maybe it was just Game of Vikla.
Aha.
Not anymore. It is now Game of Scout. Okay, so 7 kills on the Lucian, 2 kills on the Azir. They have 4,400 gold, the advantage between the two of them. This Trundle pick we really liked for different reasons than trying to dive a Lucian, as it turns out, but that's not working out.
Yeah. Okay, Taeun is looking for a bit of an angle here for Diablo. He does get so much health back, but they still look to get on top of him. It's the Vayne that locks up the kill, but now Kingin trying to get on top of Taeun. He'll find the flash over the wall to execute the Yunara. And now he's looking for Kellen. No wild growth, but can go Skippy. And will be able to get himself out of the way here. Raptor now looking for an angle towards Scout. And Vikla should be able to get the stun down, but my god, where did the Trundle go? Okay, Kingen was still chasing after Kellen. Kellen is dead.
All right, and now Vikla may follow suit.
All right, he's under a turret. Does that matter?
Kind of. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm going to say no. Fire kick does connect as well. That's a beautiful start to the fight. As Lehens wasn't tanking the turret, that was Sponge, so very happily they take down the Annie. It's 16-2.
Yeah, it's not a. I would say it's a negative game state for BNK. It's not positive.
Oh, that's brave of you to say, but I do really appreciate your courageousness, Wolf.
I will shave my beard off completely for Wednesday's broadcast.
What about a hammer down mustache? Can you shave it into a hammer down mustache?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that is, but I could Google it and probably try to make it happen.
Yeah,
like
you can figure it out.
I'll try to look. I'll give it to you if they win this game and it's a 2-0. I'll do that if I can do it. If I can, I'll shave my whole face off.
You can. Don't shave your face off.
Well,
never shave your whole face off, Wolf.
You know what I mean.
You're not Hugo Weaving from the Marvel movie, okay?
Sorry, it's hammer down.
Hammer down mustache.
How do I not know what this is? I feel like I'm kind of embarrassed.
Do you not have truckers in America?
Oh, yeah, I know what this is. Okay.
Yeah, you know what that is.
I'll do it. Yeah, sure.
All right, BNK Furex, you know what to do. It is time to turn Wolf into a trucker, okay? That's all we need. Now I'm
I didn't associate it with truckers so much as just, I don't know, cartoon characters.
Cartoon characters that drive trucks, Wolf.
I guess so.
Right, Double, possibly in trouble, but Tian is in way more of it. And there's the knock-up. Tries to get a few extra autos down as Vikla teleports in. Sponge may have overextended. Kellen's going to help grab that kill. Empress Divide does nothing at all. And there is Clear, who is a big fan of mustaches that go down on either side. Looking to chase down Lehens and Diablo. He knows what he wants, and that is a kill onto the Melio. And Diablo's getting himself out of there. Prepare your face, sir!
It's still 5,000 gold and King is hitting this turret a lot. That's the inner. That's the inner turret. That's not the outer one. He's really far. By the way, twice now they've tried to wild growth engage on the Diablo and he's just dashed away. Like, watch this.
Yeah, he's not really been there for the wild growth.
He's like, I got you. He's like, nah, you really didn't time that right.
And the Arc of Judgment also missed, so he just didn't get hit by very much at all.
Scout's the one who wants the mustache, man. What's going on here? Like, what was all that, Scout? Yeah. Someone got on the comms and told him about our little mustache bet.
Yeah, I think so. You've got Kingen looking for another angle here, though, as well as Clear. Able to juke him, and he's able to outplay it. There is the kill. Does have the help of his Trundle, but Kingen not going to be able to find the solo kill that time.
BNK fans aren't sure what's going on anymore in this game.
Atlas isn't sure either.
Vikla's got a nice angle here.
Sponge has a nice angle here as well.
There's no longer has a nice angle.
Get in and gets pushed out. That is so unfair. He's sort of just everywhere he doesn't want to be all at once.
I thought he had more friends, but I mean, I think he has plenty.
He did. They just had different colored health bars.
Maybe he's got a lot of friends on his team as well, but they weren't nearby. They were just on the other side of the map. Where Clear is trying to get some gold, you know.
At least they have a backup 80 carry. Clear isn't 4,000 gold behind.
That's true. He's 2,000 gold ahead.
There you go.
He has 2 items.
Unfortunately, he's 2,000 gold ahead of the Olaf. And not 2,000 gold ahead of the Lucian, which would be a better story here. He's also picked up a Serpent's Fang, which is kind of crazy.
X-Tech Soul Point is a thing that's been acquired for Nongshim, which is good for me not having that strange cartoonish hammer down mustache.
Yeah. But some bounty gold gets picked up, so that's feeling a bit mustache friendly.
Okay, so Kingen, he's the one who opts for this. He's like, aha, I'm Olaf. And then the Raptor's like, all right, well.
Yeah, Raptor was just there already.
He just said no. That was very silly, but very funny. I thought that the Yunara was closer by. If you look at the minimap, that's absolutely not the case. So I thought Vikla's flank angle here might have turned into something, but it did. It just wasn't a positive thing for him.
Yeah, and it was a really nice angle there from Scout. Finds the perfect Emperor's Divide. He's got 2 items completed in his Nashes and his Rylai's. See what he's going to be building next. Leandri's could come through. There's a few other options. I really like the Rylai's angle, though. Here for Scout. Can slow people down as Vikler is going to be caught on a ward once again. Does get a stun onto Sponge, as now Diablo might be in trouble. Tane just dashing after him. Gets another Wild Growth, but doesn't hit the Arc of Judgment. Great polymorph, and down goes Solution. And Sponge is stealing a wolf cam.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Because Diablo was kiting back, he like almost killed all of them by accident, but then couldn't actually do it. He's so huge in this game.
Yeah,
but,
that was very strange.
Did disrespect the polymorph there.
Oh, Raptor looking for an angle. Vikla goes in and then goes out. Tibbers is mad. Let's see whether BNK can find an angle here, as there's a good condemn into the wall. Lance is just picked off and murdered. Kingen trying to flash his way out of there. Great polymorph once again as Taeun is going to be gifted a kill. This game is chaos. Yes, I agree. Lady on the right.
Lady on the right is just an enjoyer of good League of Legends. She
is
came to the
pretty
wrong,
annoyed.
She came to the wrong place.
But I am an enjoyer of good mustaches for Wolf. That's what I am.
I'm starting to get very nervous. The thing is, if I do the hammer down, okay, Raptor, he's gonna not enjoy this. Oh, Scout!
That was a cute little juke.
He mind gamed himself. So if I do the hammer down, then you guys are going to get both, because I'm going to have to immediately shave my
yeah, see?
My mustache
it's
off.
perfect.
I should not have agreed to this. So the pillar here doesn't help Taeun on the chase, but then Diablo helps him out, and then he gets polymorph, and his barrier isn't enough. And so he dies, and Taeun picks up. Actually, it was the Trundle who picked up the kill there, so picks up a lot of money on that one. Vikla here, initially looking for a stun play, gets it set up, goes for the flash, gets two, and then just instantly gets focused down. However,
one of them was an Olaf.
They bought time
hang on.
for the Vayne.
Yeah, Nongshim is going to be able to take a
Lehens?
Lehens almost just dies. Clear is also going to just die. That absolutely did happen. Raptor trying to find some angles as Scout. Emperor's Divide picks up Tay and throws him back in. And Nongshim, not only do they take the Baron, but they take everything else. They deny any hope of us getting Wolf with a funny mustache, as that is a clean ace. And Nongshim will march down the mid lane.
Yeah, they've got the Baron. They're going to get some resets, I suppose. Scout has TP. He doesn't need to back off right now. He's actually the one who's got full health and full mana. Going to start opening up this base. It's still so early on in the game that the respawns will happen. Watch Clear try to do a thing. I feel really bad for him, because he gets half of Lehen's health, he gets excited, and then he gets jumped on and dies. And then Taeun is trying to get some damage done, right? He's actually got a decent amount of front line here, flashes Scout, but then gets caught anyways. The Scout finds a really nice Emperor's Divide there and sends him in, and Vikla, the last man standing, just can do nothing. As they needed Clear to be the one who finished the fight, not start the fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, Clear, I think, was feeling himself, and that's a good thing. Another good thing, if you're a BNK FearX fan, is that at least they didn't lose any inhibitors.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
It's an 8.5k gold lead.
The gold graph, the gold lead it's stymied for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kellen has a Moonstone. That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, Raptor takes a chunk out of Sponge.
And that's a bite out of crime.
It is.
Not actually.
Okay. Clear is just hoping that Raptor doesn't put a pillar down, because it would be quite annoying in the choke point there.
Sponge is still here. He's got the Crescent Guard.
I don't know why he is there. He is dead.
He's like, surely they don't go for it again. They will. They did.
Explanation not there.
No.
Scout going to get discovered.
No flash.
And Raptor's looking for the angle here. There's the Wild Growth. Scout finds the Emperor's Divide. Just to try and get rid of the Trundles. Now Taeun and Diablo are doing battle, and Diablo will win that one because he has 11 billion kills. Now Clear is chasing him down, though, as Raptor looking for Kingen and Diablo now, and look at the Vayne. He knows where his bread's buttered, wants to find Diablo here as he gets past Kingen, but Kingen is going to kill his jungler, so maybe Clear needed to maybe worry about that guy as the Silver Bolts will take out the Olaf.
Bounty Dragon incoming!
And also, there's only one Baron left.
Bounty Dragon incoming. All right. It's a close game of League of Legends.
The gaming is
sort of happening.
Is going strange.
I think Nongshim both okay, so Nongshim are 8,000 gold behind, but they're like so far ahead that they don't know what to do with their powers yet. It's like when a character first gets their powers in a comic book and they just start like breaking things and accidentally hurting people and tone it down. That's kind of Nongshim right now. Clear's gonna come over here and say, I said bouncy dragon!
Why are you jumping into 3 people though as Diablo immediately cleanses and then just kills them both? Vikler is also going to die as Lahens is chasing after him and Scout just sends the Sand Soldiers after him. There was a plan, and I think that's the most worrying part of that whole situation.
Sponge just like, I've had enough of this game. Let's just kill the Nexus. It's going straight into the base. 30 seconds on Annie. Taeyun does have his ult coming online, but good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game was, I think, painful for everyone, and it is best that we move to Game 3.
Well, I'm a little bit sad that you are not going to have the full mustache, but I am glad that we're going to get more of this final best of 3 of the season as Nongshim just obliterate BNK VRX in that second game. Like, what did we even watch?
Just play through bottom lane. Unless you're Trundle, playing through bottom lane and trying to pillar a Lucian who has dash and is just going to then kill you and start to get more fed. As Popcorn Guy,
he put the popcorn down.
Yeah, he put it down. I can't see it from here.
Yeah, we'll give you an update moving into game number 3.
There's no way he finished it in that short game.
No, he certainly did not. There was not enough time. I'm having a look, though, and it must be sitting next to him.
You think he's sharing it with somebody? You think he gave it away?
I can't see it nearby.
I don't have eyes on the popcorn, but I do have eyes on a pretty tragic game here for BNK. Diablo did 34,000 damage in a 24-minute game. That's
a big number.
That's a really big number. That's kind of an unheard of number.
Yeah, DPM is like,
that's like
1.5K.
That's like 1.4 something, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Don't let him get ahead. Don't let him play Lucian. Oh, they did both.
Thankfully, it is fearlessly banned away, and this just in, Popcorn Guy is sharing with the lady next to him, as we saw on the screen before, but we still haven't had eyes on the actual popcorn box itself. We will do the research and get back to you while we have a break, then the space, and then the final game of the season. We'll see you soon.
이거 얘네 강타 없고 그냥 가자.
거의 다 먹었을 거야.
메인 텔 있어?
아 좀 느려.
있어. 안 졌다.
먹자. 아 먹자.
나이스.
이거 내 정면에 있으면 좋아 우리.
얘네 싸움하러 나오는 거. 룰루 노플. 나 베인 노플. 있고. 공은 없다.
야야 베인 볼게 베인. 땀 봐야 돼.
나 합체역대. 베인 뛰었고. 베인.
베인이 볼게.
베인. 끝내자.
이겼어. 야 끝내자. 나
안 맞아.
미드 가봐 미드.
나 바텀 텔 탈게.
바텀 텔 타라. 바텀 텔.
야 3타 사코 안 무빙해줘. 바텀 가자 바텀.
Come to fruition. And I cannot wait for it to finally happen today. We'll keep our eyes glued to that
They
gigantic
better
box.
draft top Smolder for King for the scaling.
I mean, at least there's precedence.
Yeah, no, he did that. Tank Smolder was a thing back in the day.
Oh, no lock though. That's good actually for the long game because he tends to just end them.
Yeah, or like he doesn't end them and then it's over for him pretty fast.
Yeah. He ends them one way or the other.
All right, double mid bans for Scout again.
All All right, Jace comes through as well because of the Olaf now being off the table. All right.
Last
what
ban.
is the last one? Is it Nocturne? Could be a Nocturne.
Could be.
Poppy. Nautilus was banned last time.
Ash?
Ash
Maybe
was
Seraphine. That was
obviously
another one that was being considered. There's no Ezreal, though. No Caitlyn, no Yunara. Nocturne gets slammed down for Sponge. He has been a bit of a Nocturne enjoyer.
Yep.
He was an early adopter alongside Owner. Oh, it's just Callista. They banned Ash for a different reason.
All right. So Callista Renata will just be slammed here.
Don't zigs it, Diablo. But I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to play Draven Blitzcrank with a Nocturne jungle. I don't...
Well, there's no Ezreal. There's no Caitlyn. So it becomes difficult to work out who to play. No Lulu either, so you can't really like Cogmore this or anything like that.
There's no Bard. Not Syndra bottom lane, surely.
No. Oh, they might Talia though. Syndra and the Gnar will come through though.
Okay, well they have some good soul lane picks they got here. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to play in that bottom lane. I do feel like it's worth banning Lehenz's MSI MVP Blitzcrank.
That sounds like a good option.
Because I don't know what else could potentially counter this. Is Vikla's just he's gonna look to struggle in the first few levels, but then try to kill an immobile Syndra repeatedly.
He has performed very well on this champion in the
Bailout
past.
for Akali is pretty good too, actually, because it's really easy to get the execute and kill someone and then escape with all your mobility. I like it.
Yeah, I think this is a good call. So, BNK Furex, what are they going to be banning away? Bottom laners. So, likely supports that they need to get rid of.
Pyke, maybe, but I don't... That one's tough. There's just not a whole lot left in here. Are they going to try to play a Nautilus lane?
Yeah, I think you get rid of the Nautilus at least. Rakan, decent one.
Rakan can be kind of annoying. If you want to dive the bottom lane repeatedly, you probably want to ban Nals and or Leona. They can only ban one more of those two.
I think Nefiri going to be banned away here.
Yeah.
That would be a good one to
Very
get rid
strong with all this dive.
And there's just a lot of junglers that have been removed so far.
Imagine, man, when I'm looking at this draft right here, I'm like, what happens when we get to
to
Game 4 and Game 5 in Fearless in this meta? It's going to get weird.
Yeah, and we are into best of 5 town pretty soon. It's going to be a whole lot of fun as we get towards the playoffs.
So, in the past, we'd see like Draven Nami into this lane, like in rarer cases to try to answer. That's the Leona I was mentioning, so they can't, you know, just use the Leona defensively against dives. Maybe a Misfortune lane? Misfortune Rel is going to struggle, but has good stats.
I mean, it could still play Talia Shen or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I actually like the Talia as a pick into this because of the martial pose. There's that Nefiri you mentioned. Wukong still available. And
yeah,
maybe the best jungler left.
There aren't very many of them, as we've now had 4 fearlessly banned and 4 actually banned.
Maokai?
By 4, I mean 3.
Kind of could work here, too. It's not going to be great into the Nocturne, but...
I'd really like the Maokai. I think that's a good shout. Kha'Zix!
Okay.
All right, never mind. This one was considered an anti-Nocturne pick as well. So that's a fun one. Jin.
Jin Karma?
We're going to start up the Jin loss streak again. All right, it's Jin Shen. Or Shin.
Shenzhen?
It's just Shin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just naming cities in China. I thought that was the theme, but I think I got it wrong.
Yeah, where's the Zen coming from? Oh, it's just how like they're vibing. They're pretty Zen down there.
Yeah.
I think you have to be when you're facing off against the Callista Renata. That's Crocodile.
I was liking how this draft was looking for BNK, but they've really gone all in on we win the game immediately or we don't, and we lose the game 100%. But this draft, it's got a really strong mid game. You know, you've got Callista Renata, you've got the CC set up with the Renekton. The Akali is going to burst anybody down who gets pretty low, gets power from Bailout. I mean, even Kha'Zix, pretty good with Bailout. But Nongshim Red Force have a side lane win con with the Nocturne and the Gnar. They have a really strong early laning phase with the Syndra. Bottom lane, let's not talk about bottom lane. You know,
I'm happy with that.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about Jin Shen.
Shenzhen.
Shen
Jin.
is Zen in the Jin lane.
It's just shin, dude. It's just under your knee. That bit of leg under your knee.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
the lane.
I kind of feel like Renata is a shin guard.
Oh, I like that.
But actually, shin guards are designed to protect your shin. In this case, she might be hurting the shin.
Oh, true. But can protect you from the shin?
Yeah.
Maybe a shin guard is actually all about protecting everything around the shin from the shin.
It kind of works out that way, because if everyone's wearing shin guards in a game of football, you're not slamming your shins together, you're slamming the plastic together, which is better for everybody. So they're also protecting the other shins.
You're saving your shin from the shin of the other person.
Yeah.
Now the word shin has lost all meaning. It is time to get onto the rift for game number 3. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 3, the finale of the regular season. And already we have Scout parked in this bottom lane, and they will just push this Kalista Renata out of lane.
I'm trying to find who played Kha'Zix. Was it? It must have been Kanavi, right? Had to be.
Kanavi did play it this year.
Yeah, so it was him, because 100% win rate. I think it's just 1-0. Okay, Vikla.
Vikla is in a bit of trouble. He is going to teleport, and no one even noticed.
Bye.
All right, well, Vikla is safe.
That was a good teleport. It's the closest to the fountain he could have gotten.
There you go.
But the problem is he doesn't have teleport now to get back to lane, and Scout's killing the minions.
He is. So this level advantage should be
so it's not
quite good.
It's not a good matchup in the early levels for the Akali. It's not a good matchup when the Akali has to teleport all level 1.
There's a flash in from Lehens. He is going to heal, as it didn't necessarily work out all that well.
To be fair, Shen is one of Lehens' favorites.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we call him Leshens oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't played it that much this year.
He hasn't been a Shen
surprised.
guy.
Yeah, because he was the only Shen guy, and now when it became meta, he got a little hipster about it. But he showcased to everyone what you could do with this champ early on in the lane, and he did that to Vikla in this game already. We'll see what else he can get done, because maybe this lane ends up being favorable more than we thought.
Well, right now, Diablo and Lehens are actually doing a decent job, as you were talking about.
Got to control the tempo of this lane if you're going to win it as Jin and Shen.
Yep, or Shin.
Yes.
Okay. Vikla.
Crowd usage on point.
Yeah, Vikla hanging out underneath his turret is just taking so much damage from Scout.
Scout has TP. I know that's pretty obvious to everyone, but I just want to mention. Ooh.
Wow. Managing to sidestep that one was pretty impressive.
Super skinny from not being able to have a whole lot of farm in this early game.
These are not very good win rates for these champions so far.
This is looking bad now. The wave is not where Lehens and Diablo want it.
You might have thought that he nailed Taeun with that Deadly Flourish, but Taeun actually just blocked that minion from going down. So a bit of an advantage being put together here by BNK Sponge. Now going to get surrounded. Raptor looking for an angle. And Kellen already taking a fair bit of damage here. Vikla's making his way in 50% health, though, and you can see now it's Nongshim that are taking a bit too much damage. Great scatter to come through just to buy some space. Kellen needs to be careful. But in the end, Shellfish goes over to the crustacean. Or
a 4v4 at 3 minutes. No one dies. We had a lot of action. Scuttle secured for BNK. Kellen's fairly low, but I mean, they have a pretty nice advantage here in this lane to play through. As here comes that TP.
Observers are so confused about what to do. So am I, as Sponge is going to fear the Akali. Phenomenal scatter. And Vikla goes down. That is first blood, as now Taeun's in a bit of trouble. He gets the bailout, though. Will he get the Ren? The answer is no, and it's a double for Nongshim in the bottom lane.
Calculated, I guess, for Lehens there. Knew he wasn't going to die. Knew that bailout wasn't going to proc. He wasn't worried for a second.
I was. That seemed very close.
Yeah, I think Taeun and Kellen agreed. Taeun did not flash.
I think he just thought that the Rend was going to come off cooldown.
I agree.
And now they just flash in. That is an extraordinarily dead Nah.
So the early game Nocturne, not so great. Early game Kha'Zix, pretty good. Pretty strong. Not so much when it's feared, but otherwise, a lot of combat power early.
Oh, yeah.
We'll push the Gnar out, and Raptor does end up picking up the kill. Going for this first strike that we see on Kha'Zix every time, trying to accelerate his way through those lethality items. Very similar to Qiyana in how it is played, just not the same combo power later on. So the taunt comes through here, Bailout gets dropped, and as he's burning down to the Ignite, and yeah, the flash wouldn't have even helped him there, to be honest. Just didn't have the damage.
They just weren't able to get the reset on that Bailout. And so Tian and Kellen back to square one here, as Diablo is very scary. Does have that serrated Dirk now completed. And this pathetic little slingshot in Tian's back pocket is not really what he wants. Still, that is a pretty good amount of damage onto Lehens, as they still have the poke advantage in this lane, given the range that they do have.
Tian continuing to push through.
I don't think this one is over yet or anything like that, but it's already a great start for Nongshim so far.
They need a little bit more time to right the ship here. Is Clear does have his ult still, but doesn't have flash from the previous play. Wants to look for this ult to get tempo. Can he get more?
As the Dominus, Wallop number 2 is going to come on through here, as Clear not able to wait for another slice, as he's also not able to sidestep the stairs that were just thrown at him.
Looks like Vikla is going to get to level 6 without any more disasters in the mid lane. But that's good news.
I mean, it's already a kind of a disaster, though, with a 600 gold advantage. For
More disasters. More disasters.
Yeah.
No more disasters.
Oh, being very polite to Lehens, sending him to the Shadow Realm here, is now Diablo in a little bit of trouble. Raptor at level 6 is dashing his way around, has upgraded his claws, as we can see.
Who did you predict for this series?
I have no idea.
Because I think I predicted B&K, but as this game has gone on, I'm like, maybe I didn't. Maybe
I would assume I predicted B&K, but I also might have just flipped a coin.
Like, who would you predict now? That's where I was really going to get to.
Probably BN VRX. That's probably the option that I'd go for here, as now it's a very dead Kha'Zix. Sponge going to be gifted a way out here, as Vikla really wanted to press that button.
Oh, he really did, but he definitely shouldn't have, and it was good that he did not.
Yes, I would agree.
So, right now, Nongshim have a small lead. The bottom side of the map, the leads are large, but it's a advantage for the Kha'Zix that has 2 kills. Difficult to quantify. Lehens just kind of face checks here, and by kind of, I mean he completely does. There's no other story to tell about that one. So he dies. Raptor really wants to get the scuttle, but then gets ulted on here. Tries to offer the damage back here, but ends up getting feared. Sponge gets on top of him, and then Sponge blast cones away. And Pickle's like,
oh,
no.
He wanted to so bad. Unfortunately, just would have meant the death of him.
Would have probably been another discussion about handlebars.
Yeah, I think so too. Or hammer downs.
Hammer downs, handlebars. That's what threw me off, because I
think I said the wrong word.
And when I searched hammer down, like the answer came up, but some of the pictures were weird, and it took me a minute to ascertain.
Oh, so it is actually real. I'm not just wrong. I think it might be a colloquialism issue.
No, I think maybe it's just a different regional dialect.
Yeah. Handlebar definitely is a thing too. That one did trigger something in my memory.
Hammer down is like what Reinhardt screams before he looks for an Earth Shatter.
I imagine he probably does that.
So maybe a gank here for Raptor again, or does he want to go for grubs? He can't. He's going for grubs.
Well, Diablo is helping it out here as Raptor is coming on over. Lehens gets the flash taunt though, and down will go this Kha'Zix. He tried to go into stealth and it just did not really work there, and that is another kill over to the Jhin. Is Jhin going to be on a winning streak?
It's looking likely right now, after what we thought would likely be a pretty tough matchup, and the bottom side just got completely flipped on its head.
Yeah.
Lehens is popping off. And we started the series with, I distinctly remember reading comments online after game 1 like, Diablo got gapped. You know, the trade was a success for B&K.
I mean,
and then Diablo
I
ended up
talking about it as well, actually.
And then, you know, this needs no real explanation here. But then in game 2, Diablo got gifted 7 kills in the early game and then did like 1,500 DPM. And now in game 3 has an 800 gold lead. So maybe the narrative has changed a little bit.
Maybe it's just development in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Happening right now. We are here. We are witnessing it.
They're doing a little bit more of the teamwork than they did in game 1, which was unfortunately a lot of great hands and mechanical moments for Nongshim, but they couldn't actually link it together. Then in game 2, the beginning was great. The end was a little bit funny. I think a little bit strange, but they still pulled it off. This early game, though, looking much better with Lashens.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, trying to find some positives here for BNK Furex. They at least do manage to get Vikla to level 7. He does have now access to the ultimate that he did use previously.
Umbral Glaive, pretty nice little early game spike. Look at that, cleared that ward. He's standing on a Scuttle Crab, but he cleared that ward, got that extra money.
There you go. They're also on this dragon, as Vikla is going to make his way over. And you can see BNK's bottom lane are also going to head on in here. There's the paranoia to come on through. As Scout is in a lot of trouble. That's the steal on the dragon, but that is not what BNK Furex were looking for. They just wanted to get any sort of kill that they could find. And look, they found one.
Yeah, they got another one. All right, that's pretty good. It's Mountain Dragon that's picked up, however, which is pretty bad for their composition. Any extra resources given to the armor and magic resistance is going to feel pretty bad when you're running a Kha'Zix Akali draft.
Very true.
But they are able to turn this into a winning play here. Yes, the steal does go off, but that's because they wanted to get this kill on the Scout, and they communicated that. Raptor does escape, despite some pretty cool shots there from Diablo.
Yeah, he missed the first couple, though, a little bit unfortunately. So Curtain Call aim could be helped out.
Look, nobody's perfect in this series.
That's true. KT are going to be playing in the play-ins, but not here today.
It's, you know, I think in this series, you're going. If you can just have an average performance, you're like feeling really good.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, that sounds great.
That's what I'm getting at a little bit.
All right, Hubris now done here for Diablo. I think that is appropriately named as well. As Lehens is going to get his hand shook. Very polite is Kellen. And Vikla does a fair bit of damage. We've seen clear. There's a crocodile-shaped hole in that wall, I swear. As Kingen has just slammed clear into it over and over again so far this series. And the Renekton is even with the Gnar. And you're always feeling a bit weird about that whole situation because a Renekton doesn't necessarily age all that well.
No. And the call is going to complete in 26 minions here for Kingen, so this gold lead is going to disappear. And it won't really be a magic trick or confusing, it's just simple math.
Yep.
I am kind of wondering if B&K are going to be able to get it together here on one of these upcoming Dragon fights or Herald, both in about 3 minutes' time, to win a team fight to get their comp that needs to be extremely ahead to at least an even game state. Because if they don't, I believe we're going to watch another game of our 3-game series where all 3 games have been very one-sided, which is one-sided, and not a whole lot of gameplay happening, which is very sad, especially because it's the last regular season game for both of these teams. But that is the reality we're heading towards at this point in time. I asked you earlier, who do you predict at that game state? It was a little bit more ambiguous back then. I would definitely go with Nongshim right now. I think they have so many advantages.
Yeah, I also think that, okay, they're going to dive onto Vikla, who does go into his shroud. That might keep himself alive as Lehens is just dead. Paranoia comes in, and that is Sponge looking for a bit of an angle, but there's the ulti to get Vikla away. And so Sponge not going to find any joy from that one. Deadly Flourish comes in. Vikla comes back with the perfect execution. We'll be able to at least grab a few minions here.
This game just won't be serious. This whole series, it just won't do it.
Okay.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
There he goes.
Can we just have a serious game? Can it not just be silly the whole time?
I mean, Vikla seriously died.
Yeah, Diablo could just, he has X-ray vision or X-shroud vision or whatever. Thermal vision, I guess, would probably be the best one for seeing that one there and getting the kill.
Yeah, I think thermal vision would help.
All right, so Nongshim are still in a really good spot in this game. It's another Hubris build, by the way. We saw this earlier today from Gumayushi.
A little bit of a Guma flavor here for Diablo.
That's the way to win on Jhin. Like 100% win rate on this build so far.
Honestly,
that's what it's looking like.
That's what we're going to have to see from now on.
So Vikla here gets taunted and scattered and just walks it off. Kellen's ult's fantastic, kills Lehens here. And then he gets Nocturne ulted and then is able to dash back and get the flip, or the ult rather, to buy more space. Punches a lot of his health. And then Vikla's like, after all that, you know what I'll do?
Bomb the wave, baby!
And Diablo's like, he can't do that. And then he's like, yes, I can. You can't see me. Oh, you were heading in that direction. He was able to predict where he was based on how he was walking. So no thermal goggles required, I think, for this one, as it was pretty predictable.
And had a couple of extra bullets after that as well. So even if that had a miss, there was a chance that he was just able to get more. Rapid Fire Cannon is now completed here for the Jhin. He's an entire item ahead of Taeun. and also has shoes. And Taeyoon's gone barefoot for now. This is a bit of an 80 carry gap once again. It's been 80 carry gaps this whole series long, but they were different names for the first 2 games. This is very similar to the second one.
Yeah. Caitlyn domination from Taeyoon into Lucian domination for Diablo, and now Jin, much to your chagrin.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird spin on how the series has gone.
I'm trying to just feel like Lehens is just extremely good on Shen. That's what I'm going for. That's going to help me not feel like it's Jin that's just being way better this game. Oh, okay. They're going to try and find a bit of an angle here. Deadly Flourish comes down, and another curtain call as Vikla flashes and still gets hit.
I love Vikla's visceral reactions on camera whenever something like this happens. It's like every time he gets solo killed or something like this happens, he's either grabbing the back of his head violently or tossing his hands into the air. The Ignite, this time giving vision, so he was unable to hide, but just got predicted there, and then the flash didn't help him. So now he's down flash and also died.
Oh, okay. Now we're going in once again. Sponge looking for an angle towards Raptor. And a Deadly Flourish is going to lock him down. I have a feeling I know who's going to get POM this game.
What is happening? You are so far behind. I mean, not you individually, Raptor, but your team is behind. You have no control. He's trying to set up deep vision and like start taking the enemy jungle away. They're like, there's a bug. As soon as you have a bug, they bug reported him, and then they fixed the bug.
Yeah. This is making me think of Starship Troopers now.
Yeah. So Scout doesn't do that much damage here. Vikla's Merc Treads helping him out quite a bit. And then Ignite, and Lehenda's like, all right, just don't miss. Oh, he wanted to get over the edge. I didn't realize how close he was to the edge there, but unfortunately he didn't quite get out.
Man, beautifully done. Indeed.
Yeah, sadly, that's not what he wanted.
All right. Oh, he's going to shoot him with a gun and a blade at the same time. As Kingen should be falling down here. There is the Shen coming on in.
Okay.
He was tanking up the turret, did manage to flash away.
The new common caster buzzword for this term is an overload of the side lane. Overload, there were 4 people there.
I thought we were going to call it a DNS.
Yeah, well, I mean, DNS does this a lot. But the consequence of such overload is that you're losing everything else everywhere else, which doesn't happen when DNS does it because they do it in a calculated timing when they're not 4,000 gold behind.
Although they do it when they're 4,000 gold behind as well.
Yeah, it has a similar result to what's happening in this game.
Yeah.
So there's those inner turrets still alive, so that's good news. We're gonna watch this again. Kingen is very far forward here. They're like, all right, let's get him. Let's get him.
Well, I think he's gonna get him.
Clear actually unable to get him with the stun initially. Let's get it here without flashing. And then eventually gets him even with the Shen ultimate attempted there from Lehens.
Yeah, getting the Stand United on cooldown, kind of a big deal in this moment for BNK FureX. And they've at least got a recurve bow for Taeyoon. So, I mean, he's 2.5k gold behind. It is still looking incredible.
Late game close to gets it done.
Hey!
Late game close to gets it done.
So, we've been watching a lot of Pays and Ruler playing Kalista, and it kind of makes you forget that this champion can sometimes just fall flat on his face.
Yeah, it did not go well in the laning phase. Lehens has been running this game from level 1 where he took away Vikla's flash and teleport. Diablo, maybe some money.
Okay, there's the paranoia to come on through though, and the hostile takeover comes in. Sponge takes a lot of damage from this this Kalista, and down they will go. Still, I mean, Taeyoon does sacrifice his own life for it, but now he's got a Rage Blade, and that feels way better.
He finally can actually express himself right how he's been feeling. He just cut the gold lead into like a third of what it was, though, off of that play.
Crazy.
Bailout allows him to get that second kill. So Diablo initially here just walks up way too far forward. They have full vision. Raptor goes in, sets up the damage, and then this is such a huge hostile takeover. It also damages Sponge so heavily, allows Taeyoon to get that bailout and go for the additional Ren there to take him down before he does die.
The Fate's Call knock-up also absolutely fantastic from Kellen. And just great to see Kellen on the Renata. This is actually something that we haven't spoken about just yet, but I know that you are well aware
Yes.
of just how good this guy is on this champion.
His mechanics.
He is one of our best when it comes to playing the Renata. Hasn't really been able to show it so far this game until that moment that did look just brilliant. All right, BNK FearX cut that gold lead in half, like you were talking about. Not just Taeun cutting down his individual gold lead to a third. Just the overall gold lead has now really taken a dive.
Okay, gotta stay away from Scout. He's very scary. Luden's Shadow Flame. Vikla.
Oh, dear. That's very annoying. Yeah, he gets the stairs thrown. He gets another set of stairs thrown at him. And
What? Wait, he's baiting? Has Keenan over... No, he's fine.
No, he's all right.
The rest of the team was sort of coming up, but they didn't have the hostile takeover or any ability to chase him down there, so...
This is a very scary 0-2-0 nah.
Yeah, he's a little bit mechanically gifted on this champion, I would say, Keenan.
Yep, I think he's certainly played a few games, but now...
Look at him go!
Avoids the Void Spikes. And now, Kingen is going to have Shen to come on through to help him out, and I think Clear is just dead. Yeah, nothing he can do about that. Does at least have a Cole, the Meek, but that is still Kingen grabbing another kill, or grabbing his first.
Yeah, that was a scary 1-2-0 Gnar.
Now he needs 3 assists, and we can prove that Gnar can count.
Yeah, elementary on the orange prehistoric Yordle.
Yeah.
Sponge is going to get this dragon on the other side of the map as he's just wondering what the hell's going on topside while he's going to get this objective.
Yep.
Feel good about it.
Success.
Going for a second Drake here, not Infernal Soul Point just yet, but still a significant one to pick up.
Oh, Raptor
King
also
of
has
this.
Bastion Breaker as well.
Dodges the Void Spikes and then calls for Lehens. And Lehens answers the call and then taunts the Renekton. The King can run him down. And you can see the Kha'Zix is like, well, guess I'm out of this one. As the auto flies before transformation.
All right, not a great move there on the top side for BNK FearX, but it is going to mean that this gold lead has now moved back towards that 4,000 mark.
Late game Callista gets it done, Atlas.
Oh, right, you did mention that before.
Don't worry.
I need to work on my active listening, I think.
No, it's a common mistake people think. Callista's stronger in the early game.
Got it. Well, I'm glad that I'm being taught these things. Vikla now looking for an angle towards Scout. I think he's found an angle towards Scout. Gets shot by a blade, and down he will go.
Sponge wants to double down on it. He also might just be free for
Curtains! As Raptor gets hit by 2, and yeah, Sponge is just really dead. Sponge is having a series.
Kingen, let's not go in by ourselves 1v4. I thought our 2 teammates that just did that might have learned or taught you something about that Kingen learned.
Nongshim really like it when they're 2,000-ish gold.
Yeah, they like to keep it around that spot. Okay, so this isn't that silly. Okay, you know, he's got a flanking TP he wasn't aware of. That's a weird ward placement. What are you going to do? He has a Nocturne to shadow him. His Nocturne to shadow him. Nocturne was his shadow. And then once he was gone, the shadow disappeared as well.
Yeah, that's not the same as in Peter Pan. As now, Lehens, oh yeah, more politeness out of Kellen. Really beautifully done. Taeun, 3 kills now in this game.
I feel like we're going from replays of some silly moments into like being less aware of what's going on in live of the silliness that is also occurring there.
Yeah,
this comp is so much burst damage that if you're alone or you just go in piecemeal, it will rip you to shreds.
And if you're alone
out.
Like Kha'Zix's whole thing is if you're alone, you'll die.
Yeah, that's like his passive ability.
Yeah, that's how he works.
He does a lot of damage with that when that situation
Especially
occurs.
if you're a Bastion, because you can then just get broken.
Yes. He has that item.
Yeah.
I think that's what your point was.
Yeah, that's
there,
what my point was. I just like the name of the item.
I just wanted to continue with your point there.
Do you think if you build that item and then you're playing against Braum, you just like break his... wait, no, Bastion is the ability of Tarek, right? Maybe you just break his Bastion ability if you press it.
I don't think that's how it works. I think it's about whether you secure a jungle.
Wait, does
large
Tarek
jungle
even
monster.
have Bastion anymore? I think he does, but...
Look, I'm not...
Original Tarek did, and I thought he kept the name, but never mind. We've got now Sponge turning off the lights, doesn't want his friends to see him die, I don't think, but never mind, they turn it around, and Sponge is still alive. The Umbral Blades are going to work out, and Clear might be able to get the kill, but never mind, he's not even able to do that. The fear comes in, and I am sorry, Sponge, I was unaware of your game. As Clear is fighting Lehens, but he may not even win that one as Diablo comes in and saves his support. My God, that was a severe outplay.
Yeah, okay. Nongshim, what are they going to have to do to get the Goldie back to around 2,000 after that?
Oh, that's a really good point, actually. It's moved up to that
especially if they get this
pesky
Baron,
4.5K.
it's going to be a problem. All right, so he's here,
Kepenzo,
isolated, right? He's like, I'm trying to get out, uses a spell shield here, and then goes back in.
And he was
Vibrate.
behind the hostile takeover.
Oh my God, that was actually so sick. And then there's just so much CC like that's annoying. This poor Renekton. Is they're gonna get the Baron in live.
They will.
And the Renekton doesn't even get the kill on Deshen. Lehen survives again, calculated just like it was in the early laning phase when they tried to go for that bailout play. So, we're up to 5K now. We're gonna have to shave that down.
Yeah, they've got some work to do. The Rebel Baron power play is sitting at 400 right now.
Popcorn guy, I think, is full, man. I looked over there. He hasn't picked it up in a while.
Oh no, he's on the edge of his seat though, understandably. All right, Raptor, just spotted immediately, but is able to get,
so
a bit of value out of the W.
How do you win this game as BNK from here? I think you have to have a teleport flank of a century, right?
Nexus.
It has to be a really crazy flank ward where, well, I mean, yeah, and then lead to a lot of things that have happened to kill a Nexus.
Yeah.
That is a good answer, Alice.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I was really just thinking aloud. You know, how could they make this happen if Nongshim just continue to carefully push these lanes and play through their Nocturne, which can play through both side lanes. That's why he's in the middle of the map right now.
I think sneaky vision, and then playing around getting picks.
There's a
Probably how they're
ward
gonna do it.
in the bottom lane behind them right now, behind Nongshim Red Forest here, that could be teleported to by Vikla and or Clear. That's what they're going to have to play through, I think, here. Kellen has his ult.
All right. Speaking of ults, the curtains are going to get called here as Kellen doing his best to survive. That last shot did so much, though.
All right, they're pinging that ward. They're pinging that ward. They're talking about it, Atlas. It's going to come to life.
All right, well, let's see whether there is going to be a spinny circle on the minimap around that one. Right
Probably
now,
need to get Kellen's health back first, and he is here with flash and ult. There's that TP.
Here we go. The circles. Immediately, we have Kingen following, but both of the solo lanes to come out as Paranoia immediately follows. The fear comes down as well, and there is no one coming to save Clear. He is just really dead. Oh no.
It was a good try. It was the only try, right?
Like,
Kellen has ult. Kellen has ult. Maybe outplay it.
Tane does have a bailout, but I mean, that's still just gray health, but then just goes away. It's a double for Scout. He has a lot of items. He's very, very scary. And yeah, that bottom lane did not last.
All right, so now that there's no annoying teleport ward, Nongshim are going to go back to winning the game. Take this turret out. Now the inhibitor is next. They still got 30 seconds of Baron. There's no wave clear. It's an Akali, and Raptor is trying to do a thing. But I think this game is just finally done.
Yeah, there's the nod. Just immediately pummels him into the wall. Yeah, goes into the Shroud, but dies while he's there. Raptor is now trying to run away, but the Dustbringer comes in. Diablo just needs another shot, but it doesn't matter. He's going to reload. Deadly Flourish is going to be avoided, but Raptor is nowhere near his Nexus, which goes down. And Nongshim, from the brink of defeat, win 2 games in a row in colossally dominant fashion.
Big wins from Nongshim, knocking BNK down a peg, putting Hanjin Brion in first place. And I said knocking down a peg, it's actually 2, as BNK went from first at the beginning of the night to third at the end. So our lowest seed of the day, the lowest
gigantic swing.
And there's Popcorn Guy. He didn't finish the popcorn, but I don't know if the series deserved it anyways.
Yeah, Kingen knows that the work isn't done yet. If they want to make a run through the play-ins, they're going to have to increase this gameplay level. But Sponge, that last play on the Nocturne looked absolutely amazing. And if it's a return to form for him, I think that this team can look so much better. And we know what Sponge is capable of. That's why I think we're so critical, because we've seen some great stuff out of him, seen a lot of great stuff out of this guy, but that happened tonight as well. Diablo, his last 2 games, looking brilliant.
Lehen's, bit of a return to form, pulling out the rare Camille.
And the Shen.
And then the Shen. As a big bow here for the BNK side of things. They know they'll be back on stage in just a moment. We are going to have double full team interviews, as this was our last regular season match, and it felt like it.
It did.
It felt like it overstayed its welcome a little bit as well.
I think we will have some very interesting opening matches in the play-ins
Yeah,
as well,
I think so.
as our teams sort of get their eyes in. But I think also the level of seriousness will certainly increase because all of our teams know, like, these two were already in, right? And they knew that they'd have to get through everyone if they want to make it to the playoffs anyway.
This early game was, again, just a masterclass here for Nongshim. In the previous game, it felt like they won the early game because BNK made a lot of silly mistakes, but in this game, they just got outplayed. And it was early aggression from Lehens from level 1 that got them this lead. I don't think you'll find too many Lehens voters in this series, but I do think he played a huge part in securing this third and final game. But Diablo, he did everything else. And yes, there were some cool plays from this Nocturne, which ended up looking very cool. Not necessarily this one right here, but I think it's a Diablo vote for me.
I would be a Scout voter, I think.
Yeah, Scout's a good vote. He had a good Syndra game. He, on the Anivia game, even in the loss, was definitely the best performing player.
And then played Azir, and that's really fun because he's Scout, right?
The other thing about Scout is he just always wins every single POM for this team, no matter what happens.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it's a when in doubt, vote Scout. That actually rhymes better than when in doubt, vote Chovy.
Yeah, or when in doubt, vote Diablo. So when in doubt, vote Scout. I think I'd put that on a sign and start waving it around on a placard outside or something like that. That's what I would do.
This is that last-ditch attempt on the TP flank. They suss it out immediately and just collapse. And Raptors pushed out here. The Renekton is just CC chained. And the Ninja just continues to slink in the shadows as Vikla just watches on.
Oh, dear. And then Taeun, like, he had the bailout. And oftentimes the bailout saves you, but it then just kind of disintegrated immediately.
You got to kill someone. And they didn't do a whole lot of that in this game, generally speaking.
Yeah.
The Akali into the Syndra. Definitely not one that I think Vic will be opting into again anytime soon. I thought the bottom lane was going to be fine, but they got outplayed. And then this cheeky little Kha'Zix, it didn't go as planned.
All right, Diablo had an unbelievable Lucian game in game number 2, and his Jhin, brilliant in this one as well. Outplayed the Kalista Renata lane that was really highly prioritized here by BNK FureX here in this final game. So Nongshim fans eating good, and Bro fans eating phenomenally well. We're going to be so proud of his boys.
I know.
But doing nothing and then achieving first place.
Degon might be a little bit annoyed that Bro got first, but
yeah,
it's okay. Right. It's okay. He'll live.
He often tries to stay unbiased on the space.
Yeah.
And so he probably shouldn't be too negative.
So we have both teams in the interview. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about how Diablo was feeling about that series, but also Lehens, again, in such a critical year for him, trying to have that really strong end to 2026. And for BNK, I think maybe a little awkward, a little disappointing, because they came in as, I think, favorites today and were not able to deliver, but it was a very silly series. I think they should be able to, with the proper coaching and direction, shake it off and recover.
Yeah, and look, the problem is they were part of the reason why it was a silly series as well. So I think just sharpening it up and preparing for the play-ins as best they can is exactly what is going to be in order. But we'll hear from them. As first off, it will be the interview with Nongshim. So let's throw it over to Dia for some translation.
Thank you for the handoff, guys. This is here for the full team interview translation, joined by Nongshim Red Force, our second place Rise Group team. We have Kingen, Sponge, Scout, Diablo, and Lehens. Congratulations! Let's have a chat with Kingen first. With you winning the very last match, you close out the regular season at second place. How do you feel? Yeah, it was quite intense this time.
5등으로 6등인가요? 1등이? 아무튼 저희가 더 좋게 마무리할 수 있었지만
I think first place, maybe that's considered sixth in overall. I mean, I feel like we could have definitely ended and
이겨낼 수 있었던
on a
것
better
같아서 좀 감사하다는
standing,
말
but
드려야
you know,
되겠습니다.
there are some areas of regret. But thanks to our fans out there supporting us, I think we were able to make it this far.
어,
And with how competitive the standings race was,
사실 매년 좀 새로운데
What was your
매년
takeaway?
팬분들이 오늘도 그렇고
I think
저희가
every
이길
year
때마다 너무 좋아해 주시는
there are
모습
new fans,
보면
and also
다음에도
fans
이기고
who
싶다 이런
always
생각이 드는 것 같아요.
always
사실
show so much happiness
얻었다라고
and joy
하기에는
whenever we win. I just always want to win because of them.
좀 많았고,
I think some of the takeaway I would say is that
아직
although
이제
there are
정규
some
시즌
regretful
말고도
moments,
남은 경기들 많으니까
I mean,
팬분들의
aside
그
from the regular
사랑
season, there are a lot of
팬분들의
matches
사랑을
remaining. So,
잘 이용해서
because
앞으로도
of all the
좋은
love that we
경기력까지
received from the
마무리를
fans,
해보도록
I want to make sure that we can utilize and turn it into a great energy and use it so that we can actually perform well. And with today's victory, you're actually going to meet BNK Furex once again. So, since you are able to win today, I'm sure you're quite confident. I mean, yeah, we were able to finish pretty strong with a victory. So, even if we meet BFX, again, I think we're definitely going to be able to beat them. I hope that we can return with a great form. And next we have Sponge. Nongshim Red Force was able to commemorate the last match with a victory, locking in second place of Rice Group. So, how did you feel about this season? I think the early season, we were quite disappointed about our own performance. I feel like overall, I do have a lot of regrets, but I think towards the very end in round 3, I think we did a pretty decent job. So I just feel a lot of relief currently. And so, while you played with a bunch of veteran players, what kind of advice kind of stood out to you? I feel like I got most of the advice regarding not in-game related advice, but more of like a mindset and mentality advice. So
좀 많이 감동이어서 그게 좀 기억에 많이 남는 것 같습니다.
I think what really was touching for me was, you know, a lot of the things that Kingen told me. So I feel like, you know, those small advices and words of encouragement from Kingen actually helped me a lot. So what do you think you want to work on moving forward? I think everything in game, from team fighting to macro, I think I need to work on a bit of everything. So I believe that we are definitely on the right track. So hopefully with the practice that we're doing, we can actually continue improving. And Scout, the final standings, depending on today's match. So what do you think got you the edge in this win against BNK VRX today? I think lately the early game is quite important when it comes to the meta, so I think that's what we're able to sort of focus on in games 2 and 3. A lot of the Notion Red Force players have been mentioning you as the key player who actually was giving a lot of help in games. So what kind of role did you take on in the team? I think I just have a better read on the game when regarding just like insight. So whenever I make those calls, I think my teammates are able to sort of absorb that, and if there is a good play, then I think we just try to redo what we did. And what is your mindset for the play-ins? I mean, not many days left until the play-ins, but we're going to make sure that we're well prepared. So hopefully our performance is a little better than today. Please give it up for Scout. And next, let's have a chat with Diablo. In the last match of the regular season, you got a POM. So how does it feel to be the main contributor for today's victory? I think it feels amazing. Obviously, POMs are really good. And since you had to adjust to the team, there must have been some challenges. So if you can pinpoint any sort of growth, what is it? I think just being more well-spoken and, you know, speaking nicely in terms of feedback and maybe, you know, being more diligent with fan meetings. I think I just have a lot to learn looking at Lians, to be honest. And what is your mindset for best of fives? I really want to win, so I'm just gonna focus on getting those clean wins. And next we have Lihans. You know, there were some shaky moments for Nongshim Red Force, but you guys were able to secure second place with the 3 winning streak. So how do you feel? I feel like how we close it out doesn't feel too bad, so I'm really relieved, but all season I did feel like there's a lot to be desired, so I really want to make sure that we can focus on doing better from the next match. I mean, Lihans, you did so well today. Even in games 2 as your Milio and game 3, you had a really amazing performance. So what were you happy about today? I mean, I feel like there's more regrets left after today's series than being happy, to be honest. By the way, why aren't you playing Elise? I think it's because I am pretty much banned from playing Elise, so I mean, no comment. Well, obviously I'm joking, but I think you can definitely expect my tricky picks as we go on to best of 5, so please look forward to that. And what are your thoughts overall on the Rise group competition this year? Obviously, the season isn't completely over yet, but I think it leaves a lot of regret, but being able to play alongside with Diablo, Kingen, Scout, Sponge, I had a lot of fun in my professional career overall, just thinking back. And any message over to your fans? I mean, I know that it's really hard to just continue supporting us, but thank you so much for always being so supportive. Thank you. I want to make sure that we are able to repay all your support by, performing better. Please give it up one more time for the Nongshim Red Force. Thank you for the interview, and moving on. Although it was a defeat, BNK Fear X, we will take them on stage to have a chat with them.
BNK Fear X 선수분들 무대 위로 모셔볼 텐데요. 끝까지 고생한 BNK Fear X 선수분들께도 따뜻한 박수 보내주시면 감사하겠습니다.
They played their hearts out and worked so hard until the very end, so please give it up for all the players of BNK Fear X.
무대 위로 모셔보겠습니다. 네, 고생한 선수분들께 여러분 박수 부탁드립니다.
Please give them a round of applause.
탑 클리어, 정글 랩터, 미드 빅라,
Top clear, jungle raptor, mid Vigla and Daystar, bot Taeyun, and support Kellen. Hard work, you guys.
네, 먼저 클리어 선수와 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 클리어 선수,
First, let's talk to Clear. You got to lock in third place of Rise group at the very end of the regular season. How do you feel? It's a disappointing result, but while we were practicing, I'm sure we saw a lot of positive moments, and we have some matches left, so I want to make sure that, we can actually do better. We will do better. And you will actually get a rematch against Nongshim Red Force. So, what do you think will be the key in this best of 5? There are a lot of things that the enemy will prefer, and I feel like we also have a similar preference. So I think we want to make sure to capitalize and do well, focusing on those areas.
네, 이어서 랩터 선수와 이야기 나눠보겠습니다.
Next, let's have a chat with Raptor.
정말 과감한 모습을 많이 보여주셨던
All regular season, you had such bold gameplay. This is actually your 5th anniversary since your debut. So, what do you think was your biggest growth this year? I think I actually grew in every way. Maybe the biggest one would be I would have to pinpoint my mentality.
더 보완해야 할 부분은 어떤 점이 있다고 생각하시는지요?
And what do you think you need to continue working on? I mean, we lost today's match. It's just that the early game didn't really go as we had planned. And that's why the late game was a lot more disrupted. But even if we get disrupted, I want to make sure that we just keep on playing our best and just try to maintain a good form. And Bekla, first place of Rise Group was on the line, but it was a regretful defeat and you get to lock in 3rd place. So what do you think is your biggest regret? I think it's just because my biggest regret is really just before the laning phase, just being at such a big disadvantage at the end. And what do you think you will focus on in the match against Nongshim then? I think, just like Raptor said, I want to make sure that we actually focus on the early game a lot. And any message over to your fans? It was a regretful loss, but you know, I want to make sure that we win in those important matches. And Daystar, it looks like you were the relief agent whenever the team was going through a hard time. So how did it feel playing out this regular season? You know, yeah, I was showing up every once in a while, quite suddenly, but my teammates were actually taking care of me, and I think I just get to leave without any regrets, so I'm pretty happy. And any word for your fans? I mean, I got a lot of support from the fans, and I'm really grateful. So no matter where I am, thank you so much for always sending me so much love and support, everyone. And next, we have Taeyoon. How was your season with your new teammates? I mean, it was a lot of fun. Joining BFX was such a joy, and just winning a lot of different games. I mean, it's just quite memorable. I had no regrets. And the last match of the regular season, it was quite crucial, but a disappointing loss. So, what do you think will be the most crucial part in the play-ins? I think every match will count. Even if we win, we have every single match. I mean, there are a lot of matches ahead of us, so I want to make sure that we're able to showcase a good form. And next, Kellen. Recently, you were able to reach 5,000 assists, the 4th support to reach this milestone, and you reached your 8th debut anniversary. So how do you look back? I mean, there are a lot of matches that we should have won. I'm just really sad that we weren't able to win those. But, you know, I just want to think of playing better next time. And so, you'll have to get your revenge against Nongshim Red Force. What would you like to say? I mean, I'm gonna win. Let's try winning. And lastly, we'll go back to the captain of BNK-FEARX, Clear.
오늘 지긴 했지만 어차피 다음 주에 또 만나니까 그냥 다음 주엔 죽이겠습니다.
우와, 멋진 각오와 함께 팬분들에게 한마디를 남겨주셨습니다. 앞으로도 BNK
I mean, we lost today, but we're gonna meet them again. So I'm just gonna make sure that I end them next week.
다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
And let's give it up one last time for BNK-FEARX. Thank you so much for the interview, and back to the desk.